on its merits alone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would the applicant like to speak to the commission? Okay. The applicant has denied speaking to the commission for the record, so we'll close public input. The public hearing has closed, and I'll give it back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Okay, before us, we have a vote. Can I get a first?
Well, we need a motion.
I mean, a motion.
Let's have a discussion about a couple things.
Okay. We need a first and a second to discuss.
Are we,
Correct.
If you want to have discussion beforehand,
Yeah,
you can.
go ahead.
so this came before us a while back with a drive-through in it and everything, and now it's coming back in front of us to restate the drive-through that was already in before. What am I missing there?
It was, before it was in the back, now it's.
I don't remember it being in the back. Jeff, was it in the back?
That's what I just said.
Or was it
steps that we have
on
gone
the north
through-
end?
Yes, it's more, yeah.
The steps that we've gone through to this point are the annexation, the assignment of future land use, and the assignment of the design district for the property. The next step was the preliminary plat, which is only dealing with creation of the commercial tract and the tracts and lots for the open spaces, stormwater, and the actual townhome lots. Didn't have anything to do with the actual construction or the site plan itself, but it has, a representation has been on each of those sets of plans as they've come through to you. This is the first formal request for site plan approval. That site plan approval is kind of hinging on a waiver to allow that drive-through to be in the front. To this point, they haven't gotten to the point to ask that question, or in a process to ask that question.
Kind of feels like we're talking about this when we should have been talking about this a while ago.
It wasn't,
And that these people who have come out here would have had a chance to talk back before we already approved it. It's already an approved project. I mean, it's already there. The drive-through is gonna be there, whether it's 20 feet around the corner or not. Its impact is still there. They should have had a right to be here months ago and talk about this.
it wasn't that stage of the process yet is what the issue is. We're now at that stage with the site plan to ask for this, for that
Did we,
commercial
did
site
we
plan.
advertise the previous?
We advertised for
We
the
did?
preliminary plat, which dealt with the creation of the lots and tracts, not the building of the commercial, or for that matter, the building of the townhome.
So essentially, they didn't know what they really wanted until today?
No, they had it, it just wasn't that stage of the process yet.
Okay.
We approved something with a drive-through, but
We didn't approve something.
You never
Yeah,
approved the site plan for the
yeah,
commercial
We didn't approve
component.
something with a drive-through.
Yeah.
We just approved a commercial aspect and a residential aspect. And then they went back and came up with the commercial, with the commercial now.
This development was kind of multi-componented once you even got to the development stage. First, they had to create the lots and tracts for the subdivision.
And they were always upfront about having that commercial part right next to State Route
Correct.
44 the whole time. That has not changed.
Correct.
Right, okay.
So what's before us is, do we want to allow a waiver for it to face 44?
Correct.
Okay. Emily?
My question is, are the residents upset about the drive-through or the whole project? Because we've not had this kind of an audience in the past about this project. So
Okay.
it sounds like they're objecting to the drive-through where it's placed, but we've approved the project, right?
We've approved the
Yeah.
project.
And they're
But, you
just
know,
asking.
you have to go back to Daniel D. Bonanza. He is 100% correct. If that drive-through is anywhere else, we're not even here.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
that's why I feel we, not to defend ourselves or seem to be put in a odd situation. I know a lot of these people. They are phenomenal people, neighbors. I have family that lives in there. So this is real. I just think I would have liked to address this earlier. And I think they probably would have liked to address it and liked to have come here before anything even started.
But I don't think that,
But we're at a point that we stuck our foot in the mud.
but that the system does not work the way you would like for it to work. There are steps to get to, and we're at the step that we need to be at to discuss this.
Well, and let's not forget for the fact that, sorry, that if they wanted to redesign it and still put the drive-through in to meet our codes, and then it would be administrative approval, and we wouldn't even be here for the waiver. So.
That's why I
know,
like communication.
Yeah, I know. It's
Between them. This is their homes.
Yep,
This is their
I know.
place. I'm not sure the impact and how it will be. Unfortunately, you don't really know till you go through, but you can certainly expect the worst, and I think that's our human nature. But I think if that drive-through is 20 feet around the edge of that point and passing through, I don't know. I don't like being in this situation.
Okay, Mike?
I don't like where we are, but it is the way we've set our rules and regulations up, so.
Okay. Gary?
I've already stated my position.
Okay.
So, Mr. Mayor, all we have is the waiver request.
Yeah.
So we just need a motion on whether you would like to move forward with or
Okay. Yeah.
deny.
Gonna get a motion on moving forward?
What's the alternative if
They can, if I'm not mistaken, they can put it at the north end of the building.
They can go back and redesign and place the window and the majority of the drive-through, put that in quotation marks, on either the side or the rear of the building, and they'd be in compliance with the section of code that they're asking for the waiver for.
And if that were to happen, that would be an administrative review.
Administrative.
It
It
would
would have
not
to
come
come-
back to
yeah.
commission.
Right.
Correct.
Here we go.
Okay.
Reluctantly, very reluctantly, I make a motion for approval.
For resolution number 25-55.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Can I get a second? Okay, the motion,
I'll make a second.
roll call, please.
Commissioner Asbody?
Aye?
Vice Mayor Ashcraft?
Aye.
Commissioner Holland? Commissioner Lee?
I,
Mayor Hawkins?
Nay.
Next, we have resolution number 25-59. A resolution by the City Commission of the City of Eustis, Lake County, Florida.
Yeah,
Okay,
I will pause right here and
let's
allow.
take a 2-minute break.
Okay, perfect.
right, the time is 7:08. Oh, where's she at? We're missing an attorney, so we'll wait for her to arrive. Thank you, Madam Attorney.
Okay. See, I was not completely ready, so now I just need a second. All right.
I'll see if I can. You ask her.
Okay.
I know.
Okay, so next we have resolution number 25-59, a resolution by the City Commission of the City of Eustis, Lake County, Florida, adopting the tentative millage levy of ad valorem taxes for the City of Eustis, Lake County for the fiscal year 2025-26, providing for an effective date. 1 second. Mr. Mayor, City Commissioners, and members of the public, as required by Section 200.065 Florida statutes, I will now read into the record the required disclosures for the adoption of the proposed millage rate. The taxing authority is the City of Eustis. The rollback rate, that is the rate that would generate the same, ad valorem tax revenue as last year, excluding new construction, is 7.0709 mils. The proposed millage rate to be levied for the upcoming tax year is 7.5810 mils. This proposed rate exceeds the rollback rate by 7.21%, thereby representing a tax increase under Florida law. This announcement is made in accordance with the Florida Truth and Millage Trim requirements and must be made prior to the adoption of any millage resolution. At this time, the City Commission may proceed with consideration of the resolution adopting the millage rate. Ms. Carr, your presentation.
Lori Carr, Finance Director. This will be very brief because I know we've had several meetings and workshops and discussions regarding budget. Just to give you a general overview of where we're at, this is a process that starts with, for us, for staff in February, so it's a very long and arduous process. What you have now is just the last remaining steps, which is the tentative millage, our advertising, the adoption of the millage, and then certifying it to the property appraiser, and then we actually have a budget to start next year with. Just some of the budget highlights that we have. Personal services costs are the majority of our expenditures all the way across the board in almost all of our funds. We had a 5.5% increase in health insurance, which was significantly lower than it was last year. They had made some changes to the plan, and that helped reduce costs significantly. Our total citywide increase was $462,000 just for health insurance. We had a COLA adjustment for all employees, 5%, and we had a total of $522,000 for that in the general fund. And the odd number is because some people are prorated between different funds. And then the citywide with the benefits, it was $766,000. Everybody will also be receiving a $1,000 flat pay increase if they are hired on before October 1st. And that helps us with keeping compression at bay. And let's see, and that total cost is $155,000 for the FICA and $256,000 citywide. The state of Florida has given us some of our estimates, 1.2 million for municipal revenue sharing, 1.6 for half-cent sales tax, 2.7 for local discretionary sales tax, and 644,000 for communication tax. And that is a staff estimate because we just got the state figure on yesterday or Tuesday. General liability and workers' comp increased by 10%. For 161,000, so that's one of our big hitters that we have no control over. We did have a decrease in the fire pension rate of 3.5%, so their investments are doing really well, and they have a total increase in pension of 97,000. The police pension rate remained flat, and their increase based on salary increases, staffing is 216,000. And just to give you a very brief overview of where we are with all of our funds, we are projected to have a fund balance decrease in the proposed budget, as we had discussed, because some of the capital projects are coming out of our fund balance this year. And the other projects, other funds are all, for the most part, they're increasing. Revenue funds, the big decrease there is a transportation fund, which we have already discussed, that is significantly lagging in revenues coming in. Enterprise fund is a utility. We're doing fine there. We have a lot of capital, so it's not concerning that our fund balance is decreasing there at all. And this is just a brief overview of our revenue and our expenses. And as you can see again, our revenue is less than our expenditures because we are making up that shortfall in the general fund from reserves, and then it's coming from reserves in the other funds, but that's more of just an accounting function than what you all are reviewing tonight. And our millage rate, we are proposing 7.581, and this will be the 12th year that we have that. It may be 11th. I've got two records that show two different things. And the budget is budget that you have presented in front of you is based on 7.5810. So if we were to, when we budget for property tax by state statute, we can budget no higher than 96% because there are always delinquencies, those who don't pay. We choose to budget at 95%. It's a better percentage for us. It's more accurate. And if you were to have a home valued at $200,000 less your $50,000 exemption, their property tax at the proposed millage rate would be $1,137. If we went to the rollback rate of 7.0709, it would be $1,061, an annual savings of $76 or $6.33 per month per household. That's not per person. This is just a comparison of the functional millage rate. And it's all the cities do things a little bit differently with assessments and bonded debt and this and that. So this is the closest that we can come to comparing apples with apples. And as you can see, where City of Eustis does not have a fire assessment fee, which is significant revenue for some of the other cities. And so that's where we struggle with the ad valorem, because our ad valorem covers all of our fire. We don't have any other way to generate revenue for our fire department. Even having said that, functionally, we are the second to lowest millage rate. This just tells you our gross value, taxable value over the past 10 years. So it's gone up significantly. And that's it. Any questions?
So again, we're doing more with less.
You got it.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Ms. Carr from the commission? Would anyone in the audience like to speak on resolution number 25-59? Okay, Mr. DiVinanzo, please come up, 3 minutes.
I just think it's interesting that the taxable value has increased substantially and you want the millage rate to go up. I don't understand that. Also, I pay attention and I get the reports on the number of building permits that go on in the city of Eustis. And of course, the county is substantially more. But not only is the value going up, but also the number of properties that are being built and constructed, and you want to increase the tax rate. And it sounds real good that, oh, it's, you know, $6 a month. But I just understand one thing. Nobody ever asks for less money. They always want more. And I just want to remind everybody, we've increased the value of our properties, we've increased the number of our properties, and we want more taxes. I just think you need to take that into consideration.
Did we ask for more taxes?
Okay. Do we have anyone else in the audience wishing to speak on this resolution? Okay, seeing none, I will close public input.
Okay.
I'll give it back to you, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Can I get a motion?
I move for approval of Resolution 25-59.
You get a second?
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Asbati?
No?
Vice Mayor Ashcraft?
Nay.
Commissioner Holland?
Aye.
Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
Mayor Hawkins?
Aye.
I make a motion, we go back to the rollback rate.
Late.
I think that's up for consideration tonight, is it? We needed a super majority,
Supermajority to pass what we just.
so it's not, the 7.581 isn't going to go through.
We need 4 votes for that.
I make a motion, we go back to the rollback rate.
What the? Can you explain to me so he is proposing, didn't that just happen? If we don't approve it by supermajority, what happens?
You have to come
Attorney?
back?
You have to discuss a millage rate and then decide and vote. Depending on the millage rate, it will require a 3 or a 4-member vote.
Do you need to reevaluate the budget for that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so it would not be tonight, unless you
No,
have
it has
that.
to be tonight.
Yes.
Okay.
Tentative millage must be, a
So you
tentative
can't give
millage
them
and
any
budget
numbers?
must be approved.
Any additional numbers?
So maybe
would
I
need
can speak a
direction.
little bit to this.
Sorry.
Wait, because we need some numbers, some data for,
I'm sorry, there is a motion on the floor. Do we need to resolve that before I
No,
can speak?
this was all on our packet. This was all on our packet, what supermajority would do, and then what two-thirds, and then majority. So, we didn't pass the 7.5 by supermajority. I have a motion on the floor right
Right.
now to go back to the rollback rate.
A second.
Thank you.
okay. So we'll allow for discussion, and we'll let Tom address.
So we have, going back to the rollback rate, the full rollback rate is in the 7.07 range. That's over a $900,000 impact. We would have to come up with about $900,000 in cuts tonight. The adjusted rollback rate is the rollback rate adjusted for per capita personal income. That number also only requires 3 votes. That is 7.3898, and that would be a reduction of about 334,000. So we have a motion on the floor that I suppose that has to resolve itself before we figure out.
Or the rollback rate of 7.07. Okay.
All right. I've been
Any
first.
further, do you guys want to discuss the motion?
Well, I don't need to discuss it because I didn't want to do it. I think that, again, we do more with less. The vital thing is the blue and the red that protect us every day.
Won't affect them. We're not talking about taking away raises, we're not talking about taking away personnel, we're talking about 11 years of the same rate to get us to $20 million in reserves. We haven't spent it, so why do we keep putting money in reserves? The
I think-
Eustis residents after 11 years deserve 1 year of a break.
I think it is a tough time. Public safety is my number
It
one
won't affect public
thing.
safety.
Public safety is my number one thing. I don't wanna see one dime
Nope.
come out of public safety, out of fire or police.
Nope.
I wanna
I
make
won't.
that clear.
Yep.
And the staff that's here, or the police chief
Yep.
that's here, or the fire chief, that is how I feel, passionately, unconditionally.
I mean-
There are some other things in that budget that, many I've discussed, tried to bring up. and I am not comfortable representing to the people who put me up here to manage and to watch over this. Our budget needs help. We need better planning ahead of time. We should have started this thing way before, and there is a lot of things in that budget that are, in my personal opinion, fluff. And I was put here to do a job, and I want to work with everybody, and I want us to get along. I want us to understand, respect each other's sides, which I think we're getting better at. But our budget can't be a rubber stamp, and I feel like it's a rubber stamp. You know, this is a bad time for people, and the money is increasing, the incoming money is increasing, and there's new construction to add to that, right? So that's not addressed up in there. Our staff has worked hard, and I think they've done overall a great job. I think we're weak on the leader side, but I want to try to get through this, but we got to start earlier, work better. We can always go back, amend our budget. We can go back into the reserves, but I cannot face our community on this budget.
Okay, we've got a,
You can
got a
close
first.
discussion, and then you can vote.
How do we go about explaining or cutting $900,000 and feel that that's a reasonable thing to do, to providing services and the things that the city needs? I just have an issue with
And I
that.
can tell you why, because I believe the budget has too much in it that we don't use every year, and we're holding play stickers for money that we don't use. And let's not forget the fact that we've had reserves for many years that weren't even invested on behalf of the useless residents to make them more money. Gary had to push for that almost a year ago to finally get that in. So the useless residents deserve a break.
Not $900,000, because they have to have services too.
We're not cutting services
there's
in
one
there.
that was.
Emily, we're not cutting
there's one
services.
Let us finish
that was
saying
one
what
that
she
was-
has to
We're not
there
cutting
was one-
services.
please, one
I'm
at a time.
talking, there was one that was 300,000, maybe we should consider that, but $900,000 cut is just too much.
We're not cutting services, and there's reserves to cover it.
You are cutting services.
are.
When you have a fire department that is
Not- it
Now,
won't-
way
please,
understaffed.
one at a time.
When you have a fire department that's understaffed, you have a police department with needs, you are cutting services if you go to that full rollback rate of $900,000.
Okay, the motion has been made,
That's
and you're
fine.
right, but I'm not talking cutting any services. Everyone's gonna get their raise, everyone's getting their $1,000. There is a motion still on the floor.
And this is for the
Okay.
7.0
It's for
Yes,
the
sir.
full rollback rate,
full rollback?
full rollback.
Mr. Mayor, Tom wants to
Oh, I'm
say
sorry.
something.
I do want to clarify, you have two options. You can cut the necessary money from the budget, or you can alternatively keep the budget the same and make a transfer from reserves. Now, we have, as staff, we have recommended as many transfers from reserves as we feel comfortable for capital items, one-time expenses. It is reasonable and best practice to use reserves for one-time expenses. You have the option of using reserves for operating expenses, but it is not recommended and it is not best practice. Because those are recurring operating expenses, and you just get further behind each year if you keep transferring from reserves to cover operating expenses. So you have two options. You also have a hybrid of the two. You can make cuts, you can make certain cuts and then take a certain amount from reserves and do a hybrid of the two. But those are really your two options.
Okay.
Okay.
Is
You
it,
can-
Could I say something?
Yes. Oh, who? Yes. go ahead.
Just for reference, our increase without new construction was about 1.2, 1.3 million. Your salaries, life and health insurance, the $1,000, and your liability are $1,205,000. So just to put it in perspective.
So are you saying here you're gonna cut raises? Is that what you're gonna say?
No.
Okay, that's what I'm hearing.
Because you're saying you don't want to, so.
No, and there won't be. I still have a motion on the floor that's been seconded.
Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Asbody,
aye,
Vice Mayor Ashcraft,
Aye.
Commissioner Holland,
Nay.
Commissioner Lee,
Nay.
Mayor Hawkins.
Nay.
We have another motion to establish a rate tonight.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Lori, what-
Where we gonna meet in the middle?
Lori, what was the other, the 7.3?
7 point.
7.3, let me check, would be 333,000 that we'd have to cut?
What-
And that requires a 3 vote.
I move that we,
can we discuss?
No, it doesn't. Make sure we got the right rate, because there is one at 7.3 that still needs 2/3, or I'm sorry, yeah, 2/3. So let's I'm just trying to spare everybody all the,
It's,
is,
2/3 is 3, that's the
no,
calculation.
2/3 is 4.
Majority is 3 votes.
Yeah,
And the highest you can
2/3,
go,
2/3 is 4.
Please let her talk.
the highest you can go with 3 votes is 7.3898, and that's the Florida adjusted for household income. It's the rollback rate adjusted by the state of Florida for inflation.
Right.
3 votes. And we'd have to cut about 340,000 or so.
Do we have that in reserves that can be taken out to cover that?
That's a commission decision, but yes, we have that amount in reserves, if that's how you'd like to close the gap.
it makes more sense than $900,000. If that's what, we have to do that.
I have a question, basic question. I'm not the greatest, smartest guy in the world, but if 2/3 of 5 people is 3.33.
So it has to be 4. It
So,
always has to round up.
I know I'm
Yeah.
fat, but
I
I don't
know.
know that I
I'm
pick up
still
enough.
fat enough too, so.
Yeah, no,
So then you get it.
no, then it has to be 4. We've talked about this before, so,
The 7.3898 is the highest you can go with 3 votes.
Yes, correct.
What is it?
7.3898, and that will require about 335 to 340,000 in reductions.
I make a motion that the millage rate is 7.15.
We just
Where'd
did
that number
that.
come from?
I just made it up,
Okay.
7.15. I made the motion,
we get a
do I have a
second?
second?
No.
I'll second it so we can discuss it before we push it. What's the,
What's the rationale?
I just wanna know where it came from. You guys are
He made
way
it
too more
up, he
experienced
said.
than I am. 7.15.
Okay. Let- If I may just provide a
Or it could be
clarity
any-
as
it
to
could
the
be any rate
numbers.
you want, or it could be any rate you want.
There's a
between-
simple majority is all that's required to go up to 7.3847.
7.3898.
7.3898, sorry.
That's the 2/3, that's 33.3?
That's up to that's a simple majority, because that would account for the adjustment by Florida. Anything in excess of that,
2/3 is not a simple majority.
no, 2/3 is anything between 7.3899 plus up until 8.1232.
Okay, thank you.
And then unanimous after 8.1232.
Okay.
So,
Can we put up, we have a slide on the various millage rates.
So Sasha, do you agree with that? There's only 3 people need to vote.
simple majority for the millage up to 7.38. I'm just gonna say 7.38, so I don't keep going. 7.38, that's a simple majority,
So
because
right
that's
now
adjusted for the Florida rate. And that's just 3 out of 5. Anything in excess of that, up until 8.12, requires 4 out of 5. And in excess of 8.12, which we're not considering, it would be unanimous.
So right now, we're considering, Gary made up a number of 7.1.
What was that, Gary?
Is that what we have?
1.15. That did get a first and a second.
This should be up on the screen in a moment. It's just various scenarios and how many votes are required.
I want to make a motion.
Thank you.
After this one.
7.15 is still
Right.
$740,000.
No, we're
Right.
not.
We had a
Okay.
second on there for the
We
motion that
got a
was on the
second,
table?
and we've discussed. Okay, we've discussed. Okay. All right, roll call, please.
Commissioner Asbody?
No?
Vice Mayor Ashcraft?
Aye.
Commissioner Holland?
No,
Commissioner Lee?
No.
Mayor Hawkins?
Wait a
No.
second. What did we just,
you're voting on 7.1.
It's 7.1. Okay.
Now, I would make a
Gary,
motion.
Gary's motion?
Yeah.
And
Died.
Gary
Aye.
voted no for his own
Yeah.
motion?
No,
No, he
voted
did, he
yes.
said yes.
You voted no.
So-
That was 4-1.
I
Yeah,
want
that
to,
was an error on my part.
now I want to make a motion.
That was an error on my part. I'm sorry.
Doesn't matter.
This is my first time. I'm sorry.
Changing
It's
your
okay.
vote?
Hey, it
Well,
wasn't-
it wouldn't
gonna
have.
make a
All right.
difference.
It wouldn't have made a
No.
difference.
No.
It wouldn't have made a
Difference.
difference.
I make
It's not gonna- I know where it's going. It's not gonna make a difference.
hold on.
Okay, guys.
I make a motion to set our millage rate at
Hold on a moment, I'm sorry.
7.38.
Mayor Hawkins, I did not get your vote.
Nay.
Thank you.
And I'm asking to amend my vote,
Okay,
because I did not understand what we were saying. So I'm amending my vote.
because there's no impact, we still have 3 no's confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll leave it as
it's
is.
fine.
So then I make a motion to set our millage rate at 3.98, is that correct?
And I'll
Lori?
second.
7,
Say that again.
you said 3.
You said 3.
7.3898.
I second it.
And that was, for discussion purposes, that was how much?
That is
300,000.
300 and,
33.
And we have the,
we have
We-
money in reserve that can
reserve.
cover it.
And that requires
Majority. Simple majority.
okay, I see where it's going. I'm learning.
And again, we have that money in reserves. It wouldn't be best practice. We have put together some potential cuts for you to look at. I don't know if
Okay.
you're interested in seeing those.
Let's look at
Or,
it.
yeah, let's look at them tonight. You have them?
We're here, let's do it.
so I don't know if you want me to run through this list.
Please.
We would propose a reduction of K-9 obedience classes for $12,000. Reduction of the Habitat Housing Rehab Program, reducing it by 40,000, still maintaining 60,000, which we believe we could do 2 homes with 60,000. Eliminating the risk coordinator, that is not an existing position, but proposed new position in, that would be in human resources. Total cost, salary, and benefits would be just under 76. We are proposing one new police officer. Again, nobody loses their job, but we would eliminate the proposed new position, just under 95,000.
And that was a position we needed. Okay, continue.
You can cut other things.
Let him finish, please.
This
Let him
is
finish.
complete.
Let him
This is
finish.
completely out of line.
Let him finish. Go ahead, Tom.
We had proposed 3 firefighters at mid-year, so these are half a year, 3 firefighters at April 1st. Again, salary and benefits just under 150,000. The life safety captain is an upgraded position, but the total cost of that position is just over 142. And then elimination of some banquets, the Sheriff's Gala, Community Service Awards, Golden Eagle, and then Trout Lake. Those collectively come to 521,000, and so you would not have to cut all of those to get to the 334, but some combination of those would get you there.
Anything dealing with public safety, I'm against.
Yeah?
Yeah, me too. Because there's other places to cut, and this is just something to emotionalize the public when you put public safety in there. That is completely out of line, Tom. And you know there's other places you can cut.
Okay, discussion?
I think I think there's a lot of things in our budget that I saw, and I'll bring up one thing that's the big, a big point I brought up. We have a roof at the community center that we have $350,000 going into. I've talked, and I've done many roofs in the construction side, and I think Daniel has too. And $350,000 to replace that roof is insane. The pricing that I'm getting verbally, and there's some roof people in here, is somewhere around 70, 60, 80. And then there's some additional stuff Rick said that our public works guy that might need to be done. So there's some piping and some draining. So maybe we're up to 80. And we put in our budget 350. I don't know how the public feels about that, but if you voted for me and I saw that and I don't open my mouth, you better never vote for me again, because that is reckless. And when I came out to run for this, and it's in my flyers that I sent out, was to stop reckless spending, and that's it. How we get there here, I don't like it. I'm not really proud of all the, drama or whatnot. Public safety is my number one thing. I don't want to cut anything out of public safety. And I agree, bringing this up there is an emotional touch.
This is again an emotional response from the public, and I'm sorry.
Please, with all due respect, let me finish.
I know.
So what I'm saying we need to do is come together, get back onto that budget. Obviously, I'm telling you right now, the roof is going to be my first thing. And there's some other stuff that we need to do, and let's work through getting to the end. Putting this up there, it does what it does. It pokes the bear. So how do we get to where we want to get? How much are we going to have left over in this budget this year based on our spending?
Am I mistaken? We have to have this done by when?
Today.
And
Today,
tonight,
you have to
yeah.
make a vote.
That's not what I was told.
Yes,
Are you sure it has to be done tonight? If it's not done tonight,
Yes.
what's the actual date of cutoff? There's a date, specific
No,
date.
no.
We just set the millage rate. We can adjust those numbers however we
The
want to
budget,
within it.
Yeah.
yes, you can, but the millage rate needs to be set
So then maybe
tonight.
my comments were just about the suggestion, which
The comments,
triggered
yes.
a nerve. So
The
So the
budget.
millage rate we just set, so that's good with
Well,
the state.
No,
but
we
now
haven't-
need to work on budget.
right.
We
haven't said it yet.
We haven't said it yet. We have a motion,
I think
a
that's
motion and a
right.
second.
I think I believe
We need to set the millage rate tonight, but we have a motion and a second on the table, and then discussion kind of took up
I've said my piece.
more than that.
I'm done, Mayor.
Oh, okay, thank you.
But
Mayor, could I say something, please?
Oh, please, I'm sorry, Lori.
If we do this, we cannot pass the budget until we have the direction if we are reducing expenditures or if we are taking it from reserves.
So we have to make a decision, so.
We have to
Do we
decide
wanna-
the line
We
items
don't, no,
tonight.
we only have to make
Do we
a
wanna take it
decision
from the reserves?
on the millage rate tonight. We can come back and redo the budget, at a later time, but the millage has to be done today to meet
Is that what you're
property
saying?
prices.
they work together, but
They go together because what happens is, on the resolution, let me see which one.
Lori,
it
how
is.
long have you been doing this?
I've been in government for 25 years,
Thank you, okay,
in finance.
thank you.
If you see attached to the tentative millage, there's this in the back. That's what we have to advertise, and it's expenditures and expected fund balance. And so we have to know tonight, in order to meet the advertising deadlines, are we changing on this schedule an expense column or part of the fund balance column?
But the trim only does the millage rate. We don't advertise to the public the budget,
But we do.
not on their trim notices.
No, not on the trim notices, but in our advertisement in the paper, we do.
Okay,
And we're running up against the deadline on that.
okay.
What's that deadline, ma'am?
That I do not know on the top of my head. I know it's 3 to 5 days before the next meeting, but then we have to meet the newspaper's deadline on top of that.
And when is that deadline?
We have to advertise between 3 and 5 days before the next hearing, which is the final hearing, which is on September 18th. So we have a really small window, but according to the trim process, we need to vote on the millage rate and also have to vote on a balanced budget tonight. And this is the first hearing. We advertise for the public. We don't have to send out notices, trim notices anymore unless we would go higher, which we're not. So this is all part of the trim process, which is set by the state of Florida.
think the issue
I
is
have a
getting to the
question.
balanced
If
budget.
we remove the positions from it, how much will be left? I was trying to add up that, but it went off before I could see. So if we put those back in, how much would that be left if we cut the others but not those? Yeah, here we go.
George, on the
What was your
roof.
question, ma'am?
My question
Cutting
is, if we remove
the
the,
position.
if we take out the police officers, street firefighters, life cap, all of the safety stuff, what would be left over? Would that be, we need to cut $300,000, so would that, I'm trying to figure out how much, if we remove those, how much would be left?
Are you proposing to remove the risk coordinator or no?
I'm saying if we remove the police, fire, and then see, what do we have left over?
You're saying remove four?
Yeah,
The
rem-
four?
all,
The four
anything
positions.
yeah, anything that's,
A position?
yeah.
Okay, and HR as well?
I'm trying to run the numbers real quick.
I don't think we should
Not-
limit ourselves to this list. This is,
But we
Let's
have to
just-
do
let's
it
just
tonight.
answer
I know,
this,
we gotta
yeah.
do something, so maybe we need to take a
So how
5-minute
much of-
break,
wait a
get a
minute.
copy of the budget, and I'll come forward with some ideas.
Wait, how much is that left over?
I'm not for anything to cut out law enforcement
No,
or
we're not
firefighters.
cutting
We're
them.
not-
She's taking them off this list, so to see how much we have left.
So did you, I'm sorry, did you want to remove the risk coordinator or leave that in?
What is this HR, leave it in.
Okay, so,
That's about
Mike quick and dirty,
460.
Mike quick and dirty, if you remove
300 and,
if you remove all of the new positions and the life safety captain, it leaves you, it gets you about $59,800 according to my quick and dirty.
Of shortage?
Everything else on the list, except the people, everything else on the list adds up to about 59,800.
Oh, that's all.
George, how much do you think on the roof?
that roof is $120,000 tops.
May I just quickly,
No,
that,
please.
that roof project is coming out of reserves. It does not affect operating expenses. So if you were to eliminate that project, it doesn't help this number.
At all?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
It gives
And
us
we-
more money to, it gives us more money to put towards this.
Again, reasonable one-time projects or equipment, we have removed from the operating budget as much as we could. And we are paying for those one-time projects and equipment with reserves.
So, I don't like going off of this list. I don't know, I don't like going off this list. We have to go off of the budget. To be handed this, is not good practices. We have to look at the entire budget. There's a lot of fat in everything from,
Okay,
everything.
Mr. Mayor. Oh, if I would just suggest that we vote on the trim number now, and then we'll postpone the resolution for a little bit, just to give them an opportunity to go back and get the budget information, and maybe move that to the latter part of the evening. That way we can proceed with the rest of the business, and it gives you guys an opportunity to consider other areas as well.
And again,
But we would need,
so we have prepared this list. We have an even expanded list.
Well, why don't you give us everything you got, sir? Please, don't spoon feed us one at a time. Give us everything. We want to resolve this. Don't hold, how many list versions do you have,
Not
sir?
one, but
Please give them
how,
to us
just
all.
calm down.
Okay, Miranda, can you print out copies of this?
You can't put it up there, I mean, on here.
We don't have it.
but I think what we have is a
Let's
motion
do
and a
the trim.
second for the trim at 7.33898.
898.
Okay.
And so let's,
we
if we
have-
could vote on that. No, it
we
hasn't
didn't
been
vote
voted
on
on.
it.
It's
It
still
was-
pending.
It was discussion, so
Okay.
it's been moved and properly second?
Moved
No.
by Commissioner Holland, seconded by Commissioner Lee.
Right,
Okay.
correct. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Asbody,
No?
Vice Mayor Ashcraft,
Nay,
Commissioner Holland,
Aye.
Commissioner Lee,
Aye.
Mayor Hawkins.
Aye.
Lori, did you have something?
Yes, I was just going to say, if you give us the direction tonight or now, that we either we're taking that difference from expenditures or from fund balance, we can move forward with the budget. We're prepared for that. If you do some combination of expenditures and fund balance, then we've got to go back upstairs and
So,
revise.
I mean,
the
so
whole
right
budget.
now, we're only 333,687.
Correct.
We can't come up from that from reserves?
We certainly can, but it is not best practice to use that for recurring expenses.
Miranda has gone to
Yeah,
clear this. Let's move
let's
this-
move on,
Let's
yeah.
move the budget to the back of the agenda, if that's okay, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, let's
And
please.
then let's look at the long list.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Madam
All right.
Attorney?
All right, next we're going to move to resolution number 25-69. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Eustis, Florida, providing for a commission determination of a code enforcement lien on property located at 926 North Bay Street, authorizing implementing actions, and providing for an effective date. Mr. Martin?
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm sorry, you already introduced, right? All right, so resolution number 25-69 approves a code enforcement board order reducing an unpaid code enforcement lien totaling $55,250 to $20,000 and releases the lien against 926 North Bay Street upon payment. That's the budget in. The resolution also provides the City Commission an opportunity to consider a compromise regarding the fine reduction. So basically, it's the same thing that we've done before. The additional options proposed would be no payment due, full payment of $55,250 due, or the lien be reduced to an amount to be determined by the commission, payable within a certain number of days, determined by the City Commission. But staff's-
Can you tell us what the details about it?
about the case.
Yeah.
All right, I can do that. So this violation involved the budget in. They installed a driveway at the rear of the property without a permit. So the permitting reasons for that, especially for commercial, is they were required to submit a permit, submit a survey showing that they had not increased or gone above their impervious surface ratios that are set by the land development regulations. So it took 4 years to get them in compliance. So that's where the $55,250 fine came from. Now, the property owner, Ms. Patel, she was here today, but she got a phone call, had a family emergency, and she had to leave. So Ms. Patel petitioned the Code Enforcement Board. She submitted an application that the board reviewed. The application requested that the board reduce the fines to $20,000. So the Code Enforcement Board approved her request and agreed to reduce the fines from $55,250 to $20,000.
Wow. Okay.
Any questions from the commission?
No?
Do we have any members in the audience that would like to speak on resolution number 25-69?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you go from 55 to 20? How do you make that determination?
That's what the applicant requested. The property owner requested that it be reduced from the $55,250 to $20,000.
And you think it should? I mean,
I'm sorry?
and you think it should? The board has decided that it should be? that
Yes,
it's-
the board approved the request to reduce it to $20,000. That was the property owner's request. So what we do is when we finally get resolution and compliance, and there is a fine in place, we give the property owner an opportunity to fill out a fine reduction application. So the application will state how much the fine is, and it asks them, what amount of reduction are you requesting? So we leave that in the ballpark of them. We don't suggest, we try not to influence that whatsoever. So they came back with an application requesting that it be reduced to $20,000.
All our costs have been covered, correct?
Absolutely.
Mr. Mayor.
Wait, one second, I'm sorry, I didn't close public input. Sorry. All right, so anyone in the audience wanting to speak on this resolution? Okay, seeing none, I will close public input.
Mr. Mayor, I move approval of Resolution 25-69.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Asbody?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Ashcraft?
Aye.
Commissioner Holland?
Aye.
Commissioner Lee?
Nay.
Mayor Hawkins?
Aye.
The next resolutions are 2570 and 71. I just want to inform the commission that they involve the same property owner. They're just different properties, but we have the property owner here, and we also have the code enforcement chairman wanting to speak with you. And because they're sort of related, we're going to have presentation for both of them, essentially at the first resolution consideration, just to make it easier. That way we have all the information, and then you'll vote on the second one. So,
Before we get started, can we take a 2-minute break?
sure.
Okay. Adjourn. Back in session. Commissioners, before we get started, we're approaching our 2-hour time limit. Would you like to continue? Or would you like to stop? Continue?
With the budget issue, we
Continue.
don't have a choice.
Right.
All right.
I
Okay.
would like to stop, but I would vote to continue.
Okay. All right, so we'll have that joint presentation, as I explained earlier, because the properties involve the same property owner, and they're the cases are essentially related. So we have resolution number 25-70, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Eustis, Florida, providing for commission determination of a code enforcement lien on property located at 67 Glover Street, authorizing implementing actions and providing for an effective date. You can proceed, Mr. Martin.
Again, Eric Martin, Code Enforcement Supervisor for the City of Eustis. Resolution number 25-70 approves a Code Enforcement Board order reducing 2 unpaid code enforcement liens totaling $61,750 to $26,000.
Hold on, Eric.
Sorry.
Reverend Kelly, could you hold on? We'll call you up. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Let's start over again.
Okay,
All right.
Eric,
And
can
then
you
it-
start again?
All over?
Please.
Yep. Resolution number 25-70 approves a code enforcement board order reducing 2 unpaid code enforcement liens totaling $61,750 to $26,000 and releases the liens against 67 Glover Street upon payment. The resolution also provides the City Commission an opportunity to consider a compromise regarding the fine reduction. The additional options proposed are no payment shall be due, and the city shall promptly release the lien, full payment of the $61,750, and finally, the lien shall be reduced to a dollar amount determined by the City Commission and payable within a certain number of days established by the City Commission. So there were 2 cases involving this property. In 2020, there was an unsafe structure. By the time the permit to demolish was obtained, the fines had accrued to $29,000. And then the second violation involved the undeveloped property that's located in a residential land use district. It was being used for outdoor storage. So by the time that got into compliance, a fine of $32,750 did accrue. So on June 9th, the Code Enforcement Board reviewed 2 reduction applications submitted by Harold J. Kelly, the property owner of 67 Glover Street. His requests were that the case 20-00176 lien, he requested that it be reduced to $10,000, $29,000 to $10,000.
29 to 10.
Yep. And then the case 24-00063, he requested that it be reduced from $32,750 to $16,000. That was the June 9th hearing. So then, as you recall, in August, Mr. Kelly attended the Code Enforcement Board and submitted another letter asking them to reconsider the reduction and take the fines all the way down to administrative costs. So the city's total administrative costs in the case are $4,400. So staff's recommendation is the board approve resolution 25-70, approving the Code Enforcement Board's order.
So we're looking at a total of 26?
26, yes, sir.
Okay.
That is for resolution 25-70.
And how much was the original? Was it, did you
The
say?
original was $61,750.
And this was at the request of Mr. Kelly? the
That was
reduction?
the first request that Mr. Kelly submitted.
Okay. All right.
You ready for 25-71?
Yes, please.
All right. So resolution 25-71 approves a code enforcement board order reducing 2 unpaid code enforcement liens totaling $50,200 to $19,125 and releases the liens against 600 LC Street. That's a vacant lot. So the resolution also provides the City Commission an opportunity to consider a compromise regarding the fine reduction. The additional options proposed are, again, no payment due, full payment due of $50,200, or reduce it to a different amount payable within a certain amount of time, a certain amount of days determined by the City Commission. So there were 2 violations in 2024. The first one involved the undeveloped property located in residential land use district being used for outdoor storage. And then the other one was for unauthorized accumulation of solid waste being stored and being placed on the vacant property. So on June 9th, 2025, the Code Enforcement Board reviewed again 2 fine reduction applications submitted by Harold J. Kelly, the owner of 600 LC Street. It's actually Temple of Powers Ministries, but he's the president of that corporation. So his request was that the board for case 24-00051 be reduced from $33,250 to $16,625. So case 24-00388, his request was for the board to reduce it from $16,950 to $8,475. So this is where it gets, the board approved the first request for the to reduce to 16,625, but they discussed the second case and determined that they would approve a reduction more of what Mr. Kelly requested and reduce it down to $2,500.
That was the 16, correct?
That is the
Or was that
one
the
that was
8?
16,950, and they
Okay.
voted to reduce it to 2,500.
Okay, all right.
And again, same as before, Mr. Kelly attended the August hearing, submitted a letter to the Code Enforcement Board requesting that they reconsider the fine reductions to administrative costs, and those are $2,400. So staff's recommendation is for the City Commission to approve resolution number 25-71, approving the Code Enforcement Board's order.
Okay.
What's the total on that one, Eric?
50,200.
50 or 15?
50.
Okay. Okay, all right.
Okay. Any questions right now for
So
Mr. Martin?
he would pay 50 or it's been reduced?
That is a total. The reduction
Between the
approved
two.
by the board is 19,125.
Okay.
Wait a minute, say that again?
50,200 is a total cumulative fine for both cases.
Right,
And the reduction the Code Enforcement Board approved is 19,125
total.
total for
Okay.
both cases. 16,625 for 24-00051 and 2,500 for 24-00388.
Okay, all right.
Okay. All right, we have Chairman here from the Code Enforcement Board that wishes to speak to you on both cases, and then we also have Reverend Kelly. Before I have Alan come up here, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on either resolution? Okay, thank you. You can come up here, Alan.
My name is Alan Paskowski. I'm the chairman of the Code Enforcement Board, and I would like to address the city commissioners. I know it's been a long evening, a lot of discussion, but I would like to just share with you before you decide on either of these cases in the Code Enforcement Board's rulings, some pertinent facts that I think are necessary for you to make an informed and intelligent decision, as well as allow Mr. Kelly, when he presents, to be able to present the whole picture, because these two cases are intertwined. And so I think before you were to vote on one without hearing the whole story would be an injustice to you as well as to Mr. Kelly. Mr. Martin obviously gave you a very thorough summary, so I will not go back to that. I would just reiterate that since 2020, the property at 67 Glover Street has had 10 code violations, 65 inspections, 176 case logs, 30 notices issued, 4 citizen complaints, and 14 Code Enforcement Board hearings. The property at 600 Elsie Street has had 5 code violations. This is since 2024. Has had 5 code violations, 26 inspections, 82 case logs, 17 notices issued, 3 citizen complaints, and 9 code enforcement board hearings. Obviously, from the period between 2020 and 2024, Mr. Kelly, the owner of both these properties, became a frequent flyer in front of the code enforcement board. He appeared each time in his sworn testimony at each of these 24 code enforcement hearings when he attended. He was always very articulate. His arguments and discussions were seemingly plausible and resulted in the city code enforcement board granting him several requests for extensions, each of those predicated on his personal promises of timely and total compliance, if just given a little more time. After numerous appearances regarding his 2 properties, it became more apparent to the code enforcement board that Mr. Kelly's promised pathway to compliance was in fact being built upon broken promises, excuses, gamesmanship, and what I would summarize kind of as a lot of talk with little action. Which brings us to Mr. Kelly's appearance at the 9 June 2025 code enforcement hearing, which he presented 4 separate signed and notarized applications requesting reduction of accrued code enforcement fines. Mr. Martin summarized those for you. I could, if you want, re-summarize them, but I don't believe I want to waste any of your time doing that. I would just state sort of as big picture, Mr. Kelly's properties in total had accumulated $111,950 in fines, which the code enforcement board reduced to $45,125, which is a reduction of $66,825. After each individual ruling, and they were all unanimous by the code enforcement board members, was thoroughly explained to Mr. Kelly that these reductions required approval by the city commission because liens were involved, and that you as city commissioners had the option to accept, deny, increase, or decrease the code enforcement board reduction rulings, which meant that the city commissioner's final ruling could range anywhere from $0 in fines to $111,950 in fines, certainly within your authority, anywhere in between. Lastly, Mr. Kelly was also informed that he had the right to appear before the city commission when his case was scheduled to be heard. Lastly, Mr. Kelly was informed that once a final decision was made, each approved amount was payable within 30 days or a time set by the city commission after they made their decision, or if not paid, the original fine imposed would become due. Mr. Kelly acknowledged an understanding of what was explained to him on each individual request and stated he was not concerned he had the necessary funds. Each of Mr. Kelly's requests were treated fairly and without bias. Final code enforcement decisions were based solely on the individual merits articulated in each reduction request and the property's associated violations. The fine reductions which he requested on his applications were granted in 3 of his 4 requests and reduced in the 4th one by $5,975 less than he asked for. So this, in the Code Enforcement Board's understanding, should have concluded our dealings with Mr. Kelly until his case was to be heard in front of the City Commission, at which time you have had an opportunity to address the City Code Enforcement Board rulings. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, because on 11 August, of 2025, at our CAB hearing, Mr. Kelly appeared in person and presented to the Code Enforcement Board a request, a letter, which I have, if you care to hear from it, asking us to reconsider our findings on his 4 previous code enforcement reduction requests and consider reducing all his fines to purely administrative fees. And that certainly generated much discussion among with the CED attorney, our code enforcement board attorney, Mr. Martin, and the city attorney, not Ms. Garcia, but the city attorney, Mr. Rossi, whether or not we could even entertain this after the fact request. After much discussion and legal consultation, it was decided to allow Mr. Kelly to present his new fine reduction request. He provided to the Code Enforcement Board a letter dated August 11th, 2025, which stated in part that since the 9 June 2025 Code Enforcement Board fine reduction meeting, he had engaged in conversations with several of the city commissioners, who all encouraged him to submit a written request asking the Code Enforcement Board to now consider eliminating all $111,950 of his fines and liens and reduce them to just administrative fees. During this discussion and the August 11th hearing, no specific commissioners' names were mentioned by Mr. Kelly, nor did the Code Enforcement Board members who he asked who he spoke to or who had encouraged him to submit his request. Mr. Kelly's letter further stated that reducing his fines to administrative fees would not only help him bring his properties into full compliance, but also strengthen his ongoing commitment to being a responsible property owner in our community. Question is, why was this not his concern since 2020? After much discussion, which included Mr. Kelly, the Code Enforcement Board unanimously voted to deny Mr. Kelly's request to reconsider this matter. Now, I'm further aware of an undated letter from Mr. Kelly, which was sent to the City of Eustis, thanking the Commission for allowing him to present his case, in which he again requests that all penalties be reduced to administrative fees only, quote, so that he can sell the properties with clean title, free of liens and violations. Mr. Kelly's letter further states that the fines are the only barrier standing in the way of the sale of his properties. Perhaps he should have realized that prior to accruing $111,950 in fines and liens being placed on his properties. Perhaps Mr. Kelly should be appreciative of the fact that 3 of his fine reductions were accepted by the Code Enforcement Board as requested, and his 4th request was further reduced by an additional $5,975. Quite frankly, the Code Enforcement Board felt that Mr. Kelly's motives were very apparent and totally self-serving. The less fines he has to pay, the more profit he makes from the sale of these properties. Question, why does Mr. Kelly believe the residents of Eustis should help subsidize his personal real estate ventures? Pending any questions, on behalf of myself, I would respectfully request that at an absolute minimum, the Commission approve, once again, at an absolute minimum, you approve the reduced fines submitted by the Code Enforcement Board, which totaled $45,125. Obviously, you have the power to increase or decrease this amount. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. If not, I appreciate the opportunity to present this evidence in front of the City Commission.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alan.
We can hear from Reverend Kelly now.
Mr. Kelly? Please state your name as you approach, please.
My name is Harold Kelly. I live here in Eustis, Florida, 2241 Jenner Circle. First of all, thank you all for allowing me to share my case. There's a whole lot that can be said, but it's not necessary. I take full responsibility for everything that was mentioned by Mr. Martin and the other gentleman. Take full responsibility, so I don't try to slide by that. But what I do want to say to you all, one of the reasons that I asked for the total reduction of fines and liens is because it was done by someone else that came before the Code Enforcement Board. I was here that afternoon when it was done at one of my times of going before the board. So they were allowed to just pay administrative fees. Now, I want to say that's the reason, one of the reasons why I asked that request. Now, I know it, he said something about self-serving. Not only self-serving, and let me just share this, if you all, some of y'all don't know me. I came here in 1999. Since that time, I'm gonna really make this brief. I have came here as an assistant principal over at Leesburg High School. Since that time, I've been here at Eustis Middle School. Then I retired 2 years ago. In those 17 years, I have spent, I think it was $137,000 trying to help families that have been in trouble, families that were about to be put out of their homes, and this was done through my church. I was able to help families. Now, that has nothing to do with the Code Enforcement Board, I understand that. Because I have reached out and tried to help people, I'm just asking for one favor of this board. If you all would consider the fact these properties are ready to get them in a place where the community can move on and homes can be built. One of the gentlemen already has 3 apartments right behind the street, right behind where one of the properties are. I'm just asking for leniency if you could. It's not going to totally benefit me. I still pastor church. I still help people, a lot of families. So if y'all can, the board can consider helping me by reducing these fines to administrative fees, I would really appreciate it. I know it's asking a lot. You all, it's totally my responsibility. I accept that.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Did you talk to any of the sitting commissioners about the reduction of your fine?
I did speak with one.
Okay. And I don't want to know who
in
it
a
is.
general conversation. I did speak
Okay.
with one.
You said that you were at a meeting and you heard about the reduction to administrative costs.
I was here at one of the code enforcement.
So if you were at one of the meetings, why did you just ask for a simple reduction and not the administrative costs?
Yes, sir. At one of the times when Mr. Martin came to one of my locations, when I asked, he said, well, Mr. Kelly, you can ask for a reduction, but the board is not, they're really not giving reductions at this time. Mm-hmm. Those were his words on 2 occasions. And of course, I would have asked for no, all fine, all reductions if I had known that. But I'm trying not to be, as other gentlemen said, self-serving and trying to be respectful.
How many code enforcement meetings have you been to?
I don't know, it's good. I don't know, it's 10 maybe. I don't know,
Okay,
or more.
and at the 10 since 2020, had there been any discussion about administrative costs at any of those meetings that you had been to?
No, sir.
Not with
Makes
you,
you understand.
but
Makes
did you
you-
witness any of those?
Yes,
Okay, so you knew about it? You knew
Yes.
that was a possibility?
yes, sir.
Okay, all right, okay.
I was sitting here when the gentleman, I was about to ask one of the gentlemen that is gonna purchase one of the properties to come with me, because that's what happened that night. The gentleman stood beside, the owner of the property, and, he agreed, of course, he agreed to buy the property, and he was granted leniency and just to have to pay administrative cost.
Okay, 2020 is the beginning of one of the cases. And you do say that you were at fault. You did-
Absolutely.
Okay. I still haven't heard a reason why we should go below what the Code Enforcement Board.
The reason being, the main reason, as I just said, Mr. Martin specifically indicated to me, Mr. Kelly, you can ask for a reduction, but Code Enforcement Board is not, it's not reducing. And his word was, they're not reducing fines at this time. So, again, as I said before, and I didn't swear, but I'm not lying, because we had this conversation twice at two of the locations,
Okay.
at both of the locations.
Can I jump in?
Yes, please.
So, Mr. Kelly,
Yes, sir.
the property at 67 Glover Street, I mean, the chairman said there was many notices put out on those. I mean, why so long to take any action? I mean, the code enforcement department and it's not here to make money, it's here to gain compliance. So why, after so many of those notices, no compliance?
Okay,
Did you have a property manager maybe, or?
that was the problem. I tried to handle, I'm sorry.
No, I can say, but don't the notices go to the owner of the property as well as the property manager?
The notices were on the lot.
Okay.
They put it on the stake right there in the front of the lot. So I did get the notice that there was a out of compliance notice. So again, as I said already, it's on me. It's my responsibility to follow through. Since I was trying to, I had a, when I initially started, I was gonna build on Glover and I was gonna build on LC. I kept running into roadblocks. I would get, I kept turning in my applications to the building department, and they kept returning them back to me for whatever the case was. Finally, I got everything approved. And as soon as I got everything approved and ready to build, 2 days later, I think it was, here comes another notice saying you cannot start because you need this. After such a long time, I just threw my hands up in the air. And again, it's my fault. My general contractor even said to me, Ms. Kelly, they're gonna keep on giving you problems. Again.
So do you think the city gave you problems?
I'm just telling you what he said.
Okay, let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
When you say that you got notices on the property, Mr. Martin, do we send notice to Mr. Kelly's resident?
Yes, I got one at the house.
Absolutely.
And
We send them certified mail, we send them regular mail. The 67 Glover Street, his mailing address of record is his 2241 Jenna Circle. The Temple of Powers Ministries, the mailing address for that one was originally 1613 East Bates Avenue, which that's an empty building. So we had to go into his LLC accounts. We found a mailing address out of 890 Abrams Road, where the church is there. So we, for the LC property, we were mailing some there. They were getting returned. So we started mailing them to, because we're required by law to mail them to an address listed on the Lake County Property Appraiser's records, regardless of whether or not we know it's going to be returned. We still have to do it. It's a waste of $10, but we have to do it. So we with the LC one, we started actually posting and mailing copies of those to Mr. Kelly's residence as well. And we physically post.
Did you make personal contact with Mr. Kelly in 2020?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
No,
And it's continued from 2020 until today.
So in 2020, that was the unsafe permit violation. So Mr. Kelly originally, because when we send a notice out for unsafe structure, you're required to obtain a permit to repair and rehabilitate or demolish. And we're giving you a deadline to obtain that permit. So Mr. Kelly, he came in and he applied for his permit, and then he says no when he withdrew that. And then he says, I'm going to build on it. And then he goes, no, I'm not going to build on it, and he withdrew that. And then he applied for another demo permit. He pulled it back maybe two or three times. And so by the time he actually got his demolition permit, the deadline for compliance had expired, and the $29,000 in fines had accrued. Had he just got his demolition permit like he intended originally, because the house that was there, it was too far gone. When there was absolutely no flooring in it, so what was going to happen is it was going to cost more than 50% of the building value to fix it up. And according to the Florida Building Code, anything over 50% is considered substantial improvement, and you got to bring it to code from the foundation all the way up to the roof, to current code. And there's a cost in that. So once the building official laid that out to Mr. Kelly, that's when he says, okay, I'll just go ahead and tear it down, and that's when he finalized his demolition permit.
So the structure's gone?
The structure's gone.
Okay.
But during 2020 and 2023, it probably took 3 more notices. He tore the house down. It took a while to finish cleaning up. It took maybe 2 months to finish cleaning the demolition debris up. And then he left the slab there. He left some accessory structures in the back. The city's got a code under demolition. If you demolish the primary structure and you do not redevelop it within 180 days, you have to remove all improvements. So.
And we told him that?
I'm sorry?
Did we tell him that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So
and he actually spoke with development services as well.
Okay.
If I may, can I share something with that? In 2021, 20 and 22, I have a building now in Tallahassee where I'm from. It looked worse than that one. It's upstanding now, have renters in it now. They were told, the building department there told me, you cannot build on this, you need to demolish it. It's standing right now. I can give you the address and show you pictures where it's standing right now. So I'm just sharing the reason why.
No, I didn't say it couldn't be done.
No.
It just has to be.
Okay.
Pastor Kelly, you know,
Yes,
you
sir.
have personal relationships with a lot of us up here. You should have came to us earlier about like, hey, what can I do? I mean, I don't understand why it took so long.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I said, you have personal relationship with most of us up here. I mean, we've met you many times. I don't understand why it just took so long. It's like, hey, what can I do? How do I approach this? You know, I just don't understand why it took so long to get anything done.
Okay, so again, much of the problem, while I was teaching before I retired in 22, I had started collecting building materials. And I've never done it this way. but I put myself in a bad position by getting all the material and not having a shelter. I know that now. I've never done it way before, but that's why I say I take total responsibility. And yes, I'm still trying to handle things so that I don't get in this situation and just miss deadlines. That's where I was.
Mr. Mayor, I think we've heard enough. I call
Okay.
for the question on this. Three of us have sat on the code enforcement board that's sitting up here, and I have full faith in our code enforcement board. I have complete faith in Eric Martin and Chief Capri running that department. So I just call the question, and I'd like to go ahead and make a motion on Resolution 25-70 for approval.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and close then the hearing, sir.
Oh,
You can have a
pardon?
seat. I think they're
Yeah,
good.
you can have a seat.
They've heard enough.
So that's for the recommendation of 40,000.
We would need
Did we-
clarification as to what
That's a motion to
action.
agree with what the
What
code
they came up
enforcement
with.
board has agreed
The
to.
co- Okay.
Okay, did we get audience? Did we talk to audience?
I asked earlier
Okay.
before we brought them up because I knew it was going to be a long
Yeah,
presentation.
I mean, I'll second for a little bit more discussion.
Discussion.
I hate to do this to Pastor Kelly.
I do too.
I just don't understand why it took so long to get anything done. And I wish,
Yeah, unfortunately, it's,
yeah,
yeah.
okay.
And I agree with you guys, but I have never heard a record like what they read about all of the incidents and how many times and all of this. That was more than anything I've ever heard before. So, you know, I agree that we regret doing it, but
Yeah.
it's not good.
Got a motion and a
You have a
second?
first
Yeah,
and a second.
You got a first and a
We got
second?
a motion and properly second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Asbody?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Ashcraft?
Nay.
Commissioner Holland?
Aye.
Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
Mayor Hawkins?
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, I move approval of.
Oh, I have to read the title, sorry.
Read this.
Yes, I do.
Trying to
Sorry.
get this over.
Move it, because it's going to be 10 o'clock.
I know. So we have resolution number 25-71, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Eustis, Florida, providing for the commission determination of a code enforcement lien on property located at 600 LC Street, authorizing implementing actions and providing for an effective date. We've had presentation, discussion. Sorry, we can proceed with the vote,
All right.
with the motion.
Yeah.
I move approval of Resolution 25-71.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second. Roll
For
call,
the
please.
And that's for the recommendation
Oh.
of the Code Enforcement Board.
Is that correct?
Commissioner Asbody?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Ashcraft?
Nay.
Commissioner Holland?
Aye.
Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
Mayor Hawkins?
Aye.
Do you wish to go back to the budget now, or?
No, let's finish what, because
Yeah,
we
let's
have
finish
people that are waiting for others.
All right. So we will start next with second readings. We have ordinance number 25-09, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Eustis, Lake County, Florida, amending the city's land development regulations, amending section 109.4, use regulations table to classify concrete aggregate shredder/crusher as an industrial use and to specify the land use categories in which the use is permitted by right or subject to conditional use approval, amending sections 115-3.1 urban districts, 115-3.2 suburban districts, and 115-3.3 rural districts relating to the district regulations, amending sections 109-5.4 urban, 109-5.6 suburban, and 109-5.8 rural to update performance standards, amending section 110-3 regarding development pattern and design districts, adding a new section to 110-4 building lot types to establish a single-family detached lot type, which may be renumbered as necessary, adding sections 115-4.1B3 to establish open space requirements for single-family subdivisions, multifamily, mixed-use, and townhome developments, adding section 115-4.9D3 to allow stormwater facilities to function as amenities, amending section 115-7.3 to require street trees and to prohibit on-street parking on residential streets unless designated parking spaces are provided, amending section 102-21 regarding site plans and preliminary plats providing for legislative findings, providing for codification, severability, conflicts, scrivener's errors, and an effective date. Okay. So Commissioners,
But there's an asterisk beside this, right?
there is, I'm about to get into
Okay, thanks.
So as you recall, since the first reading of this ordinance, since this is our second, we did have a change in the legislature with Senate Bill 180, and that has now been codified in Florida chapters 2025-190. And it's essentially temporarily restricting municipalities from adopting or enforcing certain land development regulations. So what we've done based on the discussion is to ensure compliance with that state law and preserve this ordinance's enforceability, we revised it to essentially make it effective later. So basically, one of these things will have to happen. Either the legislature changes the content of the law, it gets struck down, or it sunsets, which is currently for our city, it's October of 2027. So since that's still there, we're basically making it effective when one of those triggering events occurs. And we've added a whereas clause that recognizes this limitation and basically indicates that we cannot really enforce this until one of those triggering events happens. Because this isn't really changing the subject or the scope of what we've done before. The title is unchanged, so we don't have to re-advertise, but we're just basically revising it to conform with the requirements of the law so that we're not in violation of anything here. I know that we had a prior discussion too about the class action. I just heard earlier this week that they have enough municipalities that have signed on to proceed with challenging SB 180. So that is going to proceed. Doesn't necessarily involve the city, but it will impact all of the municipalities in Florida since they are moving forward with that. But as it stands right now, it's still what we have to deal with right now. So we're basically just incorporating it, but respecting the restrictions we have based on the legislature's intent. Any questions for me on this? I do have something I want to say in addition to before,
Okay, thanks.
but for
Thanks for the
public.
update on that.
Yeah, no problem. No. I did want to acknowledge here that we got a letter from Mr. Keating. He submitted some memoranda, which the commission has received because he couldn't attend tonight's presentation. So he did submit memoranda from November 7th of 2024, as well as September 4th today, 2025. Both of the documents, I want to say that they will be included in tonight's official record as being recognized by the city. And, you know, we talk about property rights a lot, invested rights. And right now, he is concerned about his vested rights, which we've talked about before. We have previously received a draft of a development agreement that we got from Mr. Keating. We are reviewing it. We're working with him on that, and I did speak with him and kind of, you know, explained where we are as far as why we're doing what we're doing now, and again, that it's not really effective until one of the triggering events occurs, so we're conforming with the law, and we still fully intend to keep this process fair and transparent, and of course, respecting all of the affected landowners should, you know, they be affected by these changes. So I just wanted to put that for the record that, you know, we are acknowledging receipt of his concern, and we are going to proceed with the amendments, of course, as noticed, because, again, this is still a safeguard as to his property rights, and we will continue to work with him. Okay? Would anyone in the audience like to speak on this ordinance? Oh, seeing none, I will close public input.
Okay, thank you.
Back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay,
I make a motion to approve ordinance 25-09.
okay. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Asbody,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Ashcraft,
Aye.
Commissioner Holland,
Aye.
Commissioner Lee,
Aye.
Mayor Hawkins.
Aye.
Next, we have for second reading, subset of ordinances 25-20 through 26. We'll start with ordinance number 25-20, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Eustis, Florida, voluntarily annexing approximately 10 acres of real property at Lake County Property Appraiser alternate key number 1040141, located on the east side of the intersection of County Road 44 and County Road 44A. Any additional presentation, Jeff? Okay, no. Any questions for Jeff from the commission? But actually, no, I will get ahead of that. Before we start the discussion, last time this was, again, a move to tonight so that we can get some clarification on the status of the PUD. We did make contact with the Lake County attorney, and it's clarified that the PUD is in effect. It is valid for all the properties listed in the PUD, and the uses are restricted to those within the PUD. So the applicant has the opportunity to apply for rezoning with the county for this particular project, but as the PUD stands, it would not allow for any commercial activity or any commercial uses on the property. So I just wanted to give you that update.
So, okay, I got you. Okay, all right.
Okay. All right, do we have any cards, Tom?
I do.
Okay, please, for the essence of time, if there a lot of you that want to talk about one subject, and you know that the person before you or next to you, please just give him the nod and say, you know, ditto, okay?
So I have a card from Travis. Would you like to speak now or after, at the end? Okay. Peter Dempsey.
I am Peter Dempsey, and I am a city resident. We are here again to oppose the proposed land use amendment, as it would adversely transform our peaceful neighborhood and the surrounding communities. And the change would directly impact its neighboring communities through increased noise, lighting, odors, potential toxic contamination, etc. Also, traffic to the area would increase. In addition, our property values would decrease, putting an undue financial burden, which no one would want or approve. At the last hearing, a question was asked by a commissioner to the affected residents if we would rather see homes or commercial uses. The resounding answer was homes. There is a time and place for commercial uses. However, this location is neither the time nor the place for such a use. When a development comes into a community, it should be in harmony with the area and not a burden. The allowable commercial uses, such as gas stations, car washes, fast lube, oil changes, car sales, food and beverage stores with alcohol, drive-through restaurants, tattoo parlors, or indoor shooting ranges do not belong in this neighborhood. This is not an all-inclusive list, but you get the idea. Would you want to live where your backyard abuts to any of these land uses? The applicant can say he won't do any of those, but as the commissioners know, whatever he says or promises are not legally binding. What dictates the allowable land use is under the city's development regulations, general commercial use, and you just heard some of the uses. A point of clarification, the applicant said there was a deteriorating fence that belonged to Spring Ridge Estates, and it's falling on his property. However, we believe this is not the case. We think the fence belongs to him. We have two property survey markers for this property, and it shows that the fence to be behind the marker. Our HOA denies ownership of this fence. Therefore, we ask that the commercial land use change for these properties not be approved.
Thank you.
Donald Doyle.
Good evening. My name is Donald Doyle. I do not live in the city of Eustis, but I live just north of the subject property on the other side of County Road 44A. Thank you all for taking the time to investigate the planned unit development, PUD. As you confirmed in your supplemental staff report, the PUD is currently valid and full of effect. When Mr. Salchuk talked about the measures he was taking to protect Spring Ridge Estates from noise and light, you asked him about the people in Clear Lake Estates. I did not understand his answer. He talked about that kind of shrubbery and that kind of barrier is something he planned on keeping, especially across the back and up to one side. The map he presented may answer the question. The handout I gave you, the map is the first page. The map shows green items that may be shrubbery. If so, these are along the back near Spring Ridge Estates, and they are along the east side near the 2.8 acre parcel. There are no green items on the side near Clear Lake Estates. Mr. Salchuk said he thinks Clear Lake does not even know that they are over there. I know they are over there. Mr. Salchuk talked about the huge berm and the big fence and the massive pine trees on the Clear Lake properties. Only one of the 4 properties in Clear Lake near his property has massive trees along the back of the property. In my house, I see over 200 feet of trees on his property. It is difficult for me to tell from the map provided, but it looks like the trees that I see will be removed if the property is developed. Depending on how high the buildings are, then I will see the buildings and their associated lighting, and I might see the lighting in the parking area. If the properties are not annexed into the city and houses are built, perhaps many of these trees can be saved to provide a buffer from County Road 44 and County Road 44A. When they mow between the trees, I hear the mower, even though the berm and the fence is behind my house. I'm concerned about noise from businesses with drive-thru speakers, large motors or fans, commercial air conditioner units, or trash dumpsters to empty. Toxic vapors and chemical odors would be a concern too. Please remember that some of these businesses may be open all night. The second sheet of the handout shows the permitted use in general commercial land use district. You wonder why we're concerned about gas stations, car washes, drive-thrus, dry cleaners, shooting ranges, and fast loops, because they would all be permitted by general commercial. Please see the third sheet of the handout. On the right side of the drawing, you see the current PUD. The drawing shows that the vast majority of the surrounding properties are residential. I believe placing commercial uses in the middle of these residential areas will negatively impact the character, possibly the property values of surrounding neighborhoods. I believe the uses allowed by the current PUD are much better fit for the area. I believe annexing the property and allowing the 31 uses permitted by the general commercial is like signing a blank check. You should not leave the door open wide to all those uses, because someone sometime may want to build them. I encourage you to deny the annexation request to help preserve the character, quality of life, and property values in these neighborhoods. Thank you.
Thank you.
Trina Marquez.
Now, is there anyone that wants to say ditto to that? Okay.
Good evening once again. You all know I am not a speaker, but I am passionate about my neighborhood and my city. I will be very brief, as this has been a very long evening.
Are you passionate enough to tell us your name?
Oh, Trina Marquez. See, I told you I'm not a speaker, I'm nervous. I live directly north of this proposed project. I'm going to address a disturbing observation that appears insignificant on the surface, but bear with me, please. Hear me out. On August the 7th, Mr. Salchuk stated, and I quote, "Every single one of those houses dumps their dead trees and garbage on our land. I have never," as Donald Dole also stated on August the 21st, he has not. I pondered why he would utter such an untruth statement. I believe the point was to discredit the residents in your eyes. I went yesterday to the Land Development Office for an update and was informed whatever he said or was posted regarding 2520 through 2525 was non-binding. I left stunned. I remember that all those pictures he showed us doesn't mean anything. I listened intently August the 21st to the discussion regarding the city of Eustis being burned previously. I listened. Don't allow Clear Lake or Spring Ridge Estates to become the latest burn victims. Protect and maintain our hometown appeal. Thank you.
Thank you.
Daniel DiVinanzo.
Oh, please tell me you can ditto.
Daniel.
I cannot say ditto.
Yeah, you can.
I'm a
believe in you.
small-time guy, and let me tell you, when I moved to Eustis, my wife cried because the only thing here was Kmart. And I came from Altamont Springs, and by the way, I lived by all this. And so I'll just tell you, first of all, Lake County is a very desirable place, and we're only going to get more and more people. There are thousands of residential units planned here. And so the idea that the idyllic country meadows are going to remain is absolutely gone. And I want to tell you something else I heard tonight. A comment, and some of you will know, I love when a millionaire can say that Eustis and Mount Medora are proposing development and it's basically out of hand. Well, the thing is guess what? They don't live in town, do they? They don't have to face one of the largest populations in the municipality here, and we're talking about our tax rate, but you know the amount of money we collect, we actually serve more people with less than any of the communities around us. So the thing is growth is part of it, and you know, how much does it cost us to supply garbage and water services to one person versus 10 people? Of course, it's a shared, you get to spread the costs along, and that's what's happening. So this gentleman's bought some property. I know the location, I've looked at it. I think what he's proposed is actually very reasonable. I think the residents, you know, the idea that they're not going to get something built there, or they're going to be able to keep an open field or grasslands in the definite, through the future is unrealistic. Just a couple of remaining points is I really think it is significant that we remember the developer lives there. He's built a home and he's actually anchored here. He's not coming in and he's going to build this and leave. He's actually got his home there. And I think also with regard to the idea of what he has planned is great. Coming back to gas stations, let's talk about gas stations. When you're going to increase the population of Lake County by 50,000 people, I can assure you, you are going to have more gas stations. So he doesn't have a gas station proposed there, and I think that's an awesome thing. So, and of course, land rights, we can get into that. Development rights, we can get into that. But I think the commission understands the wave that's coming. You know, it's going to be, it's not just here. It's going to be across Lake County, a very desirable location in Florida.
Thank you, Daniel.
Other than Travis, that's it for cards.
Okay. We'll have you speak, sir.
Thank you for your time this evening. I'll try to keep it short, but I have a few things to talk about. I know Mr. Doyle had some comments and is emphatic about what I said and misquoted. If I said that Clear Lake threw the debris on my property, that was a misinformation. I showed you pictures in the PowerPoint presentation of the debris that was from Spring Ridge. I'm not harping on that. I'm just making a point that although they say they don't own the fence, they've enjoyed it for 15 years, and they could have maintained it as well as good neighbors would try to do. That was my only point. They spoke about trees. I showed you a drawing. Can we make this thing go? I don't know how to do that. So in this drawing, the large circle trees are heritage trees that would be left there. And you're trying to tell me that I'm not going to leave them there. Well, I am going to leave them there. You said I'm not going to put a fence, or I'm not going to have the shrubbery that will create the noise block, but they're there. That's what I'm planning on doing. You know in your building ordinances what the setback is. I'm providing 185 feet of setback from Spring Ridge. I'm putting in retention ponds and berms. I've offered a 7-foot fence. I'm putting in mature trees that aren't 31 inches, like 44B. I'm putting in 7-foot junipers. Those will all be approved by you in the process of having this done. I've never said I'm gonna put a gas station there. And you can see in the drawing that I've redone the process so that there are 5 buildings, not a strip center, as mentioned in a letter that you received from Beth Brockhoff, which was very definitive towards me. I didn't appreciate this letter.
Let's not make it adversarial.
No, we're not. You got this letter.
Okay.
And you're thinking about this letter when you make your decision. And that concerns me. There's nothing deceptive about my plan. There isn't going to be a big change from this drawing. I'm the one that spent the money. I spent $1.1 million on my residence, and I live right there. I have 1,600 feet of frontage there. I spent $1.6 million on the property, and I'll probably have all in $15 million. And that's what it's going to look like. It's not going to be a strip center. It's not going to be a gas station. You know, and I don't want dry cleaners. And you guys are going to see and approve the building facades. You saw pictures of the facades that were uniquely different. But, you know, all that said, it just doesn't seem to be enough for anybody. Now, there was a comment from Mr. Doyle, I think it was, where he said the county commission said that the PUD is active, or the attorney did, and therefore I couldn't change anything. Well, I spoke to the county attorney and some other commissioners, and they can approve a change. And they said something. Can you give me a second here? In consideration of the approving the change by the county, that in fact it's a serpentine configuration or sprawl that changes the availability and the usage change by the county's opinion. See, it is a signalized hard intersection, lighted intersection. And I front on 2 sides of that intersection. That's not a residential area. And the county acknowledges the uniqueness of this corner. And it is of their opinion that if I take it in front of them, they're going to consider making this commercial as their overlay is. So to say that the PUD is active, it's a legal opinion. If I come into the city here and my comment was based on that, it is dissolved and it is no longer active. So I'm not saying it's inactive. I'm saying it can be put into position of being inactive. I can come over and be part of the city. I can develop something that makes sense, that helps our traffic flow, our concurrency issues that you have now. I didn't cause them, but I can help remedy them. Unlike 44B, I have 3 entrances onto this property. And the one that faces 44A would turn right only. The one that is furthest south on 44 would turn left and right. And then the one closest to the intersection would only turn right. That would only help traffic. It wouldn't cause the troubles like that are happening over on 44. If you look at the, let me see if I can go back. If you look at this drawing, in consideration of the size of these buildings, the amount of mass land that is in the middle, and the park-like settings that we have, you're not gonna hear any noise. You might, there's no way you're not gonna hear something. But the deferred lighting, the amount of traffic we can hold on the property and disperse without the traffic flow of a jam that will happen like on 44B. You know, everything there makes perfect sense to be there on that hard lit corner. If I provide the buffers and I do what I say I'm gonna do, then what's the problem? Now some of you say, oh, he's gonna change everything. And this nice letter that was sent to you says gas stations and the percentages and things. And I said the strip mall. I've never said a strip mall to you, did I? I've never said that, and I've showed you a plan that differs from that. But I don't know what will make people happy, and it's late and I'm getting off topic, you know, it was so eloquent in my mind. But I had some points of facts that I just wanted to point out, and then I'll defer to you folks. My property is almost completely surrounded by the city. You have your utilities on my property, all of them. That also was of interest to the county as to, you have to provide all the utilities if I'm in the county and I develop this. I'd rather develop it with you. My property fronts two sides of a major signalized intersection of 44 and 44A. The comment by the county is that the property is best suited for commercial. That is the statement made by county commissioners and the county attorney. And so if I bring it forward to them, they have the right to dissolve the PUD for that purpose on that property as to the overlay. It's active in its situation right now, but it doesn't have to be if I make that application. This is a very different situation where the city annexes land that is in the serpentine configuration or the sprawl. That was the other point, and I said that already, but that was the point with the county commissioner and the attorney. This is a unique hard corner. It's not residential. It's not in a corridor with no commercial corridor or lighted intersection. I'm on it. I'm right on the intersection. The city has approved Mr. Keating's property, who's already now in the city of Eustis, for multi-use and commercial. I don't know if the folks sitting behind me realize that it's coming, and they're talking to you right now about what they're gonna build there. The Getford family's putting in and making application for multifamily. That's right across from their entrance. I don't know if they realize what's coming. My plaza serves a purpose for the new traffic flow, the new people that are coming. It defers traffic, like I said about the traffic flow considerations. Concurrency is one of those things where you try to diverse the traffic, try to make it go in different directions. This plaza would service that. Also with 3 entrances and exits, it makes traffic flow easier. I'm not gonna be a burden to anybody by being there from that respect. Controversially, Florida statutes 163-2511 and 163-3253 allows for a developer's agreement. City of Eustis has used developers' agreements in the past. I have offered that. I've offered to put this developer's agreement in front of you. I said it in the first reading. I said it in our attempted second reading. The county commission says that there might be a legal position for you to have this invoked with me. I don't know the law like you do. I'm not gonna try to defer or say that you're right and I'm wrong or otherwise. I'm saying right here that I'll gladly do a developer's agreement with you and take off the list of general commercial, the things that everybody in this room is opposed to. Well, not every one of them, or I wouldn't be allowed anything. But I would certainly take off the gas stations, the dry cleaners, the tattoo parlors, and anything else that is not nice. Please remember, I live all down the one side of that property. I want what they want. I want to protect what they're wanting to protect. All those heritage trees are there because of our design to leave them there. I don't think I could be a better partner for anybody in this room. I ask that you look into that statute to see if there's something that we can do.
Well, he brought it up.
I
know, I'm gonna answer, because I was actually on the same page you were, so I asked our city attorney to to opine on it, so.
I have I printed out the 2024 Florida statutes, Title 6 of the County Organizations and Intergovernmental Regulations and Relations on Chapter 163. It seems like there's a lot of open language there. And I'm not opposed to having a meeting with the board, the commission. You know, I'm not sure how this happens or what we do, but just know I'm not opposed to it. And I think that what I want is what everybody else in this room wants. They just don't realize it. I don't have to give you a 185-foot buffer. You guys know that, but I'll do it. I want it. I'm not putting in warehouses and commercial distribution as indicated by this other lady. She's been given the wrong information. I'm not deceptive.
Okay, all right. Sasha?
Yeah, I'm happy to speak on that. So I appreciate that. First of all, I just want to clarify about the PUD. Oh, please.
She wants to talk about the developer's agreement. Yeah.
Well, okay, do you want to do that now?
What were you going to say first?
Well, two things. So the PUD, it is valid and is in effect now. It can be amended through the county, or you can apply for rezoning with them. As far as the overlays, I mean, I think you received the email from Ms. Marsh on that, with her explanation. So
yeah, I got the same letter.
Okay, so that's the information that we're all working with as far as the current status of the PUD. as far as the development agreements, so development agreements usually are done for large projects because of the demands on infrastructure, concurrency, and things like that. The concern related to your property and this particular annexation is when we get into what we call contract zoning, basically by annexing into the city, under GC, you have certain uses and entitlements that you have just based on what our code allows. And you would be giving up those rights in exchange for annexation, which is exactly what the law prohibits. And we're not supposed to look at those factors.
Can I interject too? I'm not giving up any of my rights. I'm agreeing with a quorum of what we'd like to have there. And instead of just making it a verbal commitment, I'd like to make it in writing. To give peace of mind, because like they had reminded you that you've been burned before. So how do I take that fear out of your minds and their minds?
I understand,
So,
but what I'm saying is under GC right now, under this categorization for the city, you're able to, you have a wide spectrum of options, right? So you would basically be allowed a big group of entitlements that you currently don't have, or you would have to go to the county for. And you're saying, I'm not going to allow certain uses to appease opposition of the public, not based on the evidence that's before the commission tonight. Because essentially, the concern are over gas stations or certain uses that would be allowed under GC. So the caution here that I've advised the commission is, you may be okay with it, but going forward, whoever purchases this property ends up with it could look at this and challenge us, to the city, for.
I'm the one that bought it.
Right.
I'm the guy.
But you have it now, but in future, the conditioning
Oh, I see what you're saying.
of the uses is the problem with the basis of the ordinance. So we need to look at annexation on what the statute requires. It is discretionary for the commission to consider based on things that our code permits, as well as, the compatibilities and traffic concerns, all these different things. But all of that, we look at annexation through the statute, which is 171, which is completely separate than the development agreements. And then your designation is what will govern. So we really, that is the concern here. Normally, development agreements make sense when you're looking at a big project because we have to really evaluate the services that are being provided in the area. I believe we already have services in that area, so it's not
What do you mean by services?
like water
Yeah.
and
It's
basically
all right
infrastructure
at the edge of my
concerns and
property.
things like that. So, it's, that's when we look at those development agreements for those bigger projects because of those demands. Not to say that it can't be done, but the concern with your property is you're in a unique situation because again, you can go through the county if you choose to, but right now, by annexing as a condition of this annexation, which would give you all these entitlements under GC, you're basically saying, well, I'll let me come in and, we will forgo these uses, which could expose us to potential litigation, not just by you, but also by your neighbors.
So,
Because they're impacted by the ordinance. So that's why it's a critical consideration for the commission.
is there a way to, Mike, you're gonna have to help me with this one. Is there a way to do a PUD under GC? I mean, when we annex a piece of property in for housing, we can sometimes do a PUD. Can we do a PUD for GC?
Yeah, we can, our code
How do
does
we-
allow for that.
We
And-
can under GC?
Yeah.
Just a thought. But we can't require it though, right?
No, I mean, again, it's
Same.
it's
But
essentially the same
voluntarily-
restriction.
No, but after the annexation.
If he would like
Yeah.
to do it after, I mean, it's
Yeah.
up to him, but again, it cannot be a condition of annexation.
No,
There's-
I'm not making a case, I'm just trying to, okay.
Or he could choose then not to do it, right?
Right, exactly,
Right,
yeah.
so annexation is a completely separate
Yeah.
statute,
Mhm.
so, again.
Okay, thank you.
So I guess in summary, what I'd like to just say is that, like the county said, I'm completely surrounded by you. You have multiple commercial development going down 44A. You have multiple residential all the way down the side of Clear Lake that's coming. You have that across the street, and you're dealing with Mr. Keating now. I'm probably the most friendly person, and I'm giving you the most environmentally friendly commercial improvement. And if you look at historical places like Winter Garden, Winter Park, Windermere, Mount Dora, did not lower the value of their homes. It increased them. The average price in downtown Mount Dora is over $497,000. It wasn't like that before, was it? So if it's done right, and it's done responsibly, and it's left to look the way my facades that I showed you, and with all that open space and gardens, it's only gonna add value. I haven't had one person in the audience consider what I've said and go, that might not be so bad. That actually might improve my property. Just think about 185 feet of buffer. Think about having nice stores there, some national, some local. That's all I'm asking you to consider. That's what I'm into. 1,600 feet of my property is going to be facing this. And I'm going to do what I say, and I just thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, we'll go ahead and close public input.
Okay.
And Mr. Mayor, again, just to reiterate, you have this ordinance before you. Decisions that are being made tonight have to be based on competent evidence for our planning, land planning considerations.
Okay. Can I get a motion?
I'll make one for discussion.
Okay. Have a first. Can I get a second for discussion?
Discussion, I'll second it.
Okay.
I don't know what else we have to discuss. I think we've pretty much been through every option. It's one of those hard decisions where you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, as we usually are.
Because somebody years and years before you, Mike, made decisions that we got stuck with the dairy farm up on 44, things like that. Growth is coming there, and it's gonna come, and from what I'm seeing from people who already have in there, it's coming, and it's gonna be in masses, but I'm here to listen to the residents. And I think he's genuine. I think he said a few things that probably I don't buy into at all. I went there, I drove there, I saw that fence. I saw your pretty concrete fence across from it. I think all that stuff was a bunch of distraction. But I think growth is coming. It's gonna be there. I think if he's genuine, but we cannot prove it, we cannot hold him to it. He could be the winner of the $1 billion lottery that was sold down here, and he'll be gone. I can't put ourselves or our community into an unknown scenario. And I don't like doing that. But unknowns get us in trouble. So I struggle with this, and I think it's gonna come though, but I don't think it's gonna be now, is my personal.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you know, he's right. He could try to go to the county and do the same thing.
And that's the other thing. And then you go with, if I'm you, be careful what you wish for. Will they give you the buffer?
Yeah.
But you guys are all here and you're all unanimous in the neighborhood saying that. I mean, I work for you, but be careful. County will, I think the hunch is they'll give him whatever he wants. And then what are you gonna do? I don't know. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at
Yeah,
anyway. It's like,
Okay.
do we want it or we want them to have it?
So that's my problem. Do we want to control what goes there, or do we let the county do it? And maybe take the risk of 150 apartments sitting on that corner, which is even worse than a commercial piece sitting there. And it's worse than a housing development sitting there.
So Yeah, that's what I see. I see this coming back down the line if we don't approve it, or the county giving him probably everything he wants. Is it better that the county does it than me?
And we
Yeah.
still have to supply the utilities.
Probably. I can't bring myself to that, so.
And they're gonna make us provide the
Yeah.
utilities.
But we have a loyalty to our residents, and if that's what the county wants to do to us,
Okay,
And just to comment really quick, the dissatisfaction of the neighbors isn't a legal basis for denial. We have to look at the evidence that's before you as far as what staff has compiled, the statutory requirements for annexation, but also the compatibility of the use in the neighborhood. You have to look at traffic, the land planning concerns, because we do have in our code basically the parameters under GC. So I just wanted to make sure that it's not to appease the public, because, obviously these are concerns that are being raised and they're bringing up certain issues for the commission to consider, such as traffic and noise and light and all these different things. But I just wanted to make sure that we're not
yeah, if I could
just considering
if I
that,
could
because you
just
said you were.
clarify that.
one at a time, please.
Should I clarify that then, is what you're suggesting?
I'm just wanting to make sure that
Yeah.
it's clear that it's
Yeah.
not just based on public dissent.
No,
I
but-
feel that
but-
I'm sorry.
No, you're right, go ahead.
She was talking about me. So, if you look at the area right now, it does not fit. So it does not match the area now.
The community compatibility.
Yeah, the community,
Mike's got
will it
some-
later?
Mike has something to say.
Will it later? Yeah, I think it will. Does it match the zoning? Maybe so, but
If I can, Commissioners, I had basically at the last minute thought, look, at the end of the day, we didn't have our presentation like we did last time. But I did just want you guys to see that before you this is an enclave. And you need to understand that across the street on the west side of I guess that's 44. So, you got general commercial directly across the street from it. And now he's the last corner that is coming in. That corner right now of that intersection, that red light, 3 of those corners are in the city. This is the last corner. And you'll see that to the west, on the south side, is general commercial. To the south, obviously, is suburban residential. But even as we re-examine the area, we recognize that it is truly an enclave now. And I didn't realize that. I assumed that to the east it was not. But it is truly an enclave in the city.
and it's general commercial?
To the Keating property to the west is general commercial. On the north side is suburban residential. So you can see and now there's the little corner, the little house there at the red light. That is MCR. Now you'll notice on the bottom here that below the GC is also MCR, and that is a 12-unit allowance right there. So apartments can go right directly across from Spring Ridge.
But sorry, Mike, is all this SR south of 44? That's us? No.
Yes. The SR is suburban
It's an
residential,
enclave.
5 units an acre.
So I guess I was wrong. Sorry, sir.
It is an enclave.
Thanks for correcting it, but.
Now let me also point out.
I still don't like it.
I understand. I want you guys to see the full picture here. What you see, the AADT, that stands for average annual daily trips. Okay, so that intersection to the east is 4,200 trips that are basically heading east beyond the red light. To the west, the average daily trips are 15,400 cars a day right now. And along that roadway, north and south there, is also 4,200 trips per day. Now, that's the current daily trips. I mean, I understand that people are concerned about traffic, but again, I wanted you guys to see more of the picture of this is an enclave. And, at least you have a clear picture that general commercial is already on that intersection, on the south side. So,
Okay. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for bringing this up, Mike. Thank you.
I was thinking that we've had other protests about what was happening to their neighborhoods and all of that. I keep thinking about the 7-Eleven and the bakery and all of that. But the buildings that he showed, I think if I had to live across the street from or in the neighborhood, I'd rather see buildings like that than a service station or tattoo parlor or whatever. And I would have to believe that he would follow through with what he has. But I think we know we can't not turn this down because of opposition to it.
Yeah, you know, the thing that worries me is, you know, the unknown. That's the big thing for me is the unknown. But I'm glad that Mike,
Yes.
you know, gave us that quick presentation.
But we always have the unknown.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Did you have a question, Vice Mayor?
Oh, I was only gonna say that annexation is our discretion. We don't have to do it.
We don't,
I mean,
but the
it's-
county
it-
will
No,
likely do it.
Yes, yes.
The county will likely
I'm
do
saying
it.
It's, annexation is, we're not required by law to annex things in. That's our discretion. That's all I wanted to make a point of.
Okay. All right, anything else? Let's take a vote.
Well, we need a motion first.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a
got a
motion, I'm
first
sorry.
and a second.
Got a
Yeah.
first and a
Close the
second?
discussion.
Yeah, getting late.
Okay, so
Okay.
the motion is for approval of the annexation.
Yes. Motion for approval of annexation?
Yes, I did that.
Okay. It-
Roll call.
we got
I'm
a
just,
fir-
I'm just confirming that
Okay.
the motion on the floor right now would be for approval of the annexation.
Right.
Before we vote, so no one has to retract votes, we're clear. Because we've had a lot of discussion already, so I want to make sure.
Okay. It's been first and properly second, correct? Okay, roll call?
Commissioner Asbody,
No,
Vice Mayor Ashcraft,
Hey,
Commissioner Holland,
Nay.
Commissioner Lee,
Aye.
Mayor Hawkins.
Aye.
So the
So-
motion did not pass. Now,
Okay, all right. Okay,
now that eliminates the next two, and I presume the next annexation, would you still like that one, the 2.8 heard? No? Okay.
okay. Next,
Okay, I'm sorry, sir.
Why would we not close an enclave? I don't understand that.
All right. So I believe now we have first readings.
okay, go ahead.
they're leaving it.
Let's just give a second to let the
Okay.
audience clear out.
Yeah, we'll give a second.
Good night. Thank you all.
Randy. All right,
Just go ahead and close that door.
Madam Attorney?
Yep.
Let's go ahead and get started.
Okay.
All right, we're in session.
Okay. Next is ordinance number 25-03, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of
Excuse
Eustis,
me, we're in
Florida,
session.
voluntarily annexing approximately 50.5 acres of real property at alternate key numbers 1097070 and 1094712, generally located north of County Road 44 and east of State Road 19. Mr. Lane or Mr. Richardson? First reading. First reading is presenting tonight. Oh.
How about you?
Hello.
Oh, really?
Hello.
that was Daniel, sir.
Sound like you stepped up. Really?
Mike, is this up tonight, or are we doing this for another meeting? It was what we had for LPA?
2523.
No, 2503. We had this at LPA?
Hey, we,
Yes.
did we skip an item?
I knew it was coming.
Okay.
CIP?
23? No, no, no.
2503?
So 25, 20 through 25 were all linked to the initial property.
Okay. We skipped 25, 26.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Oh, my bad.
it's at the very bottom.
Yeah, it's a long night.
Apologies,
Capital
apologies. Capital improvements, yes.
We might get out of 14.
My goodness, okay. Apologies, Mike.
Okay.
Well, yes, those are gone.
Yeah.
So wait, are we doing 26 next then?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can have a seat again. All right. I'm sorry. Okay, second reading, ordinance number 25-26, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Eustis, Lake County, Florida, approving the annual update of the 5-year capital improvement schedule of a comprehensive plan under Florida Statute 163-3177, Section 3B, providing for conflicting ordinances, severability, and an effective date. Ms. Carr.
I have no presentation.
No additional presentation?
Okay.
Any questions from the commission for Ms. Carr?
None.
No. Would anyone in the audience like to speak on ordinance number 25-26? Seeing none, we will close public input. Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Mayor, I move approval of ordinance number 25-26.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Asbati?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Ashcraft?
Aye.
Commissioner Holland?
Aye.
Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
Mayor Hawkins?
Aye.
Now you're up, Mike. Okay, so we're back to ordinance number 2503, first reading. I will reread it.
Okay.
An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Eustis, Florida, voluntarily annexing approximately 50.5 acres of real property at alternate key numbers 1097070 and 1094712, generally located north of County Road 44 and east of State Road 19.
Yes. As we discussed at the LPA, this is the Sangster property. Robert Sangster owns the property. It's 50.5 acres. His actually, it is an enclave, and it's actually going to go MCI as the future land use district. It will have two design districts. 10.5 acres is basically going to be suburban corridor, which is consistent with the property adjacent to it. And north of it, the 40 acres remaining will go rural neighborhood. So at the end of the day, we've had discussions about the environmental issues that are on there. You know, he has removed the concrete and obviously the concrete equipment that was on there. And at this point in time, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer you.
Sorry, maybe I misheard. How much is going rural neighborhood?
40 acres.
Okay.
And if you'll read the definition of that whole entire rural neighborhood section, it talks about you know, a large amount of open space being required for that. And because of the wetland that is up there, I mean, it's not, he's not going to be able to do much with that.
Okay.
When you, that was a pretty strong statement, I just wanted to understand, nothing wrong with it, but you said he's not gonna be able to do much there, meaning that because of the wetlands
And the floodplain.
and the floodplain?
And the topography that's on the site.
So what will happen to that property then if it's annexed? It just stays the way it is forever?
Well, he's going to have to work around, you know, that they will definitely have to stay clear of that water body that is on there. So, you know, he, with it being in the floodplain, he can't fill that area. He will have to hire engineers. And I recall pointing this out during the very first meeting, I think back in April, the fact that they will have to get a letter of map amendment for the floodplain if they're going to develop in there. You know, FEMA or our floodplain manager cannot allow people to build there in that floodplain. You know, we have something that talks about you can't bring additional fill into that floodplain that's there. So in order for him to really do any sort of development that's on there, he's going to have an engineer that's going to basically get FEMA to agree to a letter of map amendment to the actual map panels that exist for the city there.
So if there's so much of a floodplain and wetlands there, then why would he want so much for suburban neighborhood?
Well, again, the suburban commercial is along the corridor there, and obviously his engineer is more apt to be able to get a letter of map amendment along the frontage there more than he would along that wet area. As was previously mentioned, you know, by some of the residents, there is a drainage basin that runs through there. And so, you know, it's going to be.
You know, I'm a little confused because I thought this was coming in predominantly to be most of MCI. When did the rural neighborhood come in?
Well, the design district. Now,
yeah.
I'm sorry. The MCI is going to cover the whole property.
Oh, okay.
But the design districts are going to basically be the 15 acre or the 10.5 acres along the roadway there.
Okay. I understand now.
And then that 40 acres is going to be north of there.
All right. Thank you.
So what would be in there? Some examples.
Well,
it will be commercial, so there'll be no residential there? Or there can be residential there?
Not in the MCI.
Not in the MCI. So it will have to be commercial.
Predominantly, yes.
Mm-hmm. And they won't be able to build on the wetlands, so they're limited to that front area on 44?
And now, don't get me wrong, of the 40 acres that are north of there, I mean, if they can actually determine by engineering reports and such that is not in the floodplain, then, or they can get it out of the floodplain with you know, some, I guess, assistance from FEMA, then certainly they can do, you know, some type of industrial areas back there. But by our code, that the wetland that does exist in there, they're going to have to sit off of there. There's going to have to be a buffer around that wetland back there.
How serious of a wetland is it? How intense? How?
At this point, we don't have those analyses, and we won't really see those until they actually try to come forward and develop in there. And that's why, you know, as part of the development process, we do require them to submit that environmental impact analysis there.
But MCI, does it allow housing? I thought I asked this the last meeting.
MCI is mixed commercial industrial.
Right.
MCR is mixed commercial residential.
So MCI, there can't be predominantly homes there anyway, right?
That's correct.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Well, do we have anyone in the audience?
Cindy Newton.
Cindy Newton, unincorporated Eustis. I'll keep it short. First of all, I would like to clarify, generally speaking, when FEMA does a map revision for a floodplain, they look at the entire area. They won't just focus on that one property. And usually it expands out. Since that's a drainage basin, it would probably end up going all the way to Hitch Ditch. All that would be changed. So if that's requested, you're looking at a huge change all through there, more than likely. I just wanted to give you an update on the code enforcement issues on the property so that you have an idea. There's code enforcement issues on both properties. The front one is under an order now. There was a hearing July 16th, and they gave them 60 days to bring it into compliance. The back property is still an open case. They're still investigating. So I just wanted you to have that information. I'm not in opposition or anything on it. I just wanted you to have the information. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else in the audience wishing to speak on this ordinance? Okay, seeing none, I will close public input.
All right. To refresh my memory, it's currently zoned, which has a density of 4 to 1. So if it stays where it is, they could build 4 times the acreage? Can they count the wetlands in their calculation? And
Mike, if you could just come up here.
They said they couldn't do residential's.
well, they can if it stays in the county. Yeah.
Yeah, the property is urban low, 4 units an acre, and obviously the county, I think, they address density the same way we do. I'm sure it's net density. So if the person has a wetland on the property, they won't be able to count those acreage points for density.
So here we go again, almost the same thing. Want a bunch of houses there, or do you want commercial there?
Commercial.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Am I right, Mike,
Yeah,
pretty
and
much?
I recall these are some of the same discussions that
Yeah,
we had
we
back
Right,
in
we had
April.
before.
Yeah.
Okay, can I get a
Any
motion?
additional questions for
Oh,
staff
any
or?
Any additional questions?
Yeah, was there an issue why they didn't just do that? Why are they coming into the city? Is there, just to get away from code enforcement violations? Was that what the summary of this?
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah.
Staff would have to answer
Yeah.
that.
That's
Okay. All right, before us, we have ordinance number 20-03.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Asbody?
No.
Vice Mayor Ashcraft?
Aye.
Commissioner Holland?
Aye.
Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
Mayor Hawkins?
Aye.
Next is ordinance number 25-04, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Eustis, Lake County, Florida, amending the City of Eustis Comprehensive Plan pursuant to Florida Statute 163.3187, changing the future land use designation of approximately 50.5 acres of recently annexed real property at alternate key numbers 1097070 and 1094712, generally located north of County Road 44 and east of State Road 19, from urban low in Lake County to mixed commercial industrial in the City of Eustis. We've had a presentation. Any additional questions for staff? Would anyone in the audience like to speak on ordinance number 25-04? Seeing none, I will close public input. Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, I move approval of ordinance 25-04.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Asbody?
No.
Vice Mayor Ashcraft?
Aye.
Commissioner Holland?
Aye.
Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
Mayor Hawkins?
Aye.
And the last ordinance for this group is ordinance number 25-05, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Eustis, Lake County, Florida, assigning the Rural Neighborhood Design District designation to approximately 40 acres of recently annexed real property at alternate key numbers 1097070, and assigning the Suburban Corridor Design District designation to approximately 10.5 acres of recently annexed real property at alternate key 1094712, north of County Road 44 and east of State Road 19. We've had a presentation. Are there any questions for commission?
No.
Let me start again. Are there any questions from the commission for staff? No? Would anyone in the audience like to speak on ordinance number 25-05? Okay, seeing none, I will close public input. Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, I move approval of ordinance 25-05.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Asbody?
No.
Vice Mayor Ashcraft?
Aye.
Commissioner Holland?
Aye.
Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
Mayor Hawkins?
Aye.
All right, that gets us back to the budget resolution.
Yes.
So we have resolution number 25-60, a resolution by the City Commission of the City of Eustis, Lake County, Florida, adopting the tentative budget for the fiscal year 2025-26, providing for an effective date.
That's a lot of stuff.
It is.
All right, who's going to
Okay,
So,
head this?
so,
Tom's given us the extended list.
the extended list, but, I mean, really, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, wouldn't it be easy for us to just do reserves instead of go down this list and pick apart everything that one of us wants to do, or take food away from the teens at the recreation? I mean, really, it would be easier just to take reserves. We have them. Any discussion on that?
I think we could amend the budget later.
If we need to, yes. I mean, really, there's some things in here that
I don't like the tone of this
I
spreadsheet.
don't either, to be honest with you. And I think it's defamatory. I do. And, you know, putting public safety in there is trying to, evoke a response from the public. And they're not really, I wasn't done. And they're not really understanding the intent of what's trying to be done here. So, you know, are we gonna take stuff away from George Fest? Are we gonna take, team building activities away from staff? Movies in the park, we're gonna take movies away from the kids? Okay, well, I could go on and on.
Did this, Tom, this list, this came from, the department heads, correct?
The initial list came from department heads. This kind of expanded list is something that Miranda Burrows and I went through the budget, and this is beyond what the department heads recommended. So we.
He's talking.
Yeah.
It was the paper on the mic.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Tom.
So again, there is value in dipping into reserves. However, it would be irresponsible of me to present that as the option. And so we certainly, it's an option. It's something we could do. It would be the least painful thing to do. But again, it would have been irresponsible for me to say just take it from reserves is not what I would have felt comfortable doing. But in the end, it's a good option. It's the least painful, and we don't have to impact programs by doing that.
Okay, but we have.
What's the risk coordinator? What's that?
So the risk coordinator is a position that's going to be in human resources. It's going to be about coordinating with our liability insurance company. And it's also going to be about limiting risk on, do we have a heaving sidewalk and do we need to get it repaired so we don't get a trip and fall? Or is there an ADA issue? So it's going to be someone that's going to be trying to limit our risk, limit our lawsuits, and keep us protected. And we do not currently have that. That is a function provided by finance, kind of on a part-time basis.
Can I ask you a question regarding the risk? In the last year, lawsuits, risk-related.
Yeah, I don't know if I could give you a number specifically, because a lot of those go right from a claim to PRM, and we have folks internally that coordinate with PRM. So I don't know if I could give you a number on what kind of lawsuit activity we've seen.
Okay, Lori, you said it's not best practice to take from reserves, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you've been doing this how long?
25 years.
Okay, all right.
And what is professional inventory services?
That's for the Clifford House. That would be bringing in a professional company to go through the Clifford House and inventory what's at the Clifford House.
Or the risk coordinator, is it something we think we need to have right away?
Karen?
Karen, Lori?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I answer that?
Sure. Yeah.
I believe we do. It's not uncommon for small cities for the workers' comp to be under HR and the rest of it to be under finance. And I've been responsible for it at smaller cities, but as we get into this litigious society, we are getting claims left and right. And we deal with a lot of it, and honestly, it's not our wheelhouse. We're doing the best we can, but we're really concerned about saying something we shouldn't or giving bad advice, so we kind of just remove ourselves from as much as we possibly can.
The other concern that prompted it is the state has been toying with increasing sovereign immunity. Right now, our liability is capped through sovereign immunity, but there's been a lot of, last several years, they've talked about increasing those caps. So those lawsuits become more and more troublesome.
That'll be back next year, I promise.
Sure it will be.
Yeah.
And not that I should be contributing, but I will. I have seen a definite increase in the amount of claims that have come through and that have been forwarded to PRM for processing in the last 12 to 18 months.
Okay.
Since I've been here.
Yeah, well, pretty much, yes.
And what's the character event?
Those are recreation, and those are events like Bluey or characters that, we have an event at the band shell or at Carver Park or at one of our facilities.
You know, one area that I've noticed quite a bit spent on is, what do you call it, promotional items. There's a lot of money spent on that could be kind of sliced down, that we don't have to purchase so much, and every department seems to have some. So that's an area I think we should look at.
Well, once again, I think it's easier to take from reserve right now than it is trying to take away special events from the kids. We're
I don't see anything on here. I would think this
and
doesn't.
and honestly, I think it's really, really funny too. You have the housing rehab program on here when you knew that I brought Daniel here for that as well.
And when you see habitat cutting, but we don't see Lake Community Action cutting.
Lake Community Action is in
It's a
CRA,
CRA,
so it doesn't affect general fund.
Oh, so that's a good reason. Thanks.
I will tell
Yes,
you
no,
that
go ahead.
the team has really poured over these numbers quite a bit. There are things we just can't cut, like in HR, background checks, or
No one's
in
saying to cut those things.
I-
Let him talk, please.
I guess what I'm saying is we've spent a lot of time and these were the things that were possible to cut. There are things that we just can't cut. And these were the things that we felt that were the most reasonable.
On the other hand, we have people hurting. We have people suffering. We have people in our community who can't afford to pay for their own food and are paying taxes. And we keep taxing them till we break them. Emotional, psychologically, we're impacting, hurting our people with taxes and taxing and taxing. And then we have things in our budget that we need to work better on earlier on. So to give me this limited list after a book that was huge, I don't know, I don't think that's the way to get us all on the same page and across the line.
Well, I think that, everyone acknowledges that we needed to do better when it came to, going over the budget. And I think that's why they've given us dates.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
Next year.
exactly. So we all recognize that, but what's here before us now is,
Where do we cut?
exactly.
And that should have been something that we shouldn't be doing at 10 o'clock at night. It should have been something we should have been doing along the process.
But we had the option, and we had the option when we went through the budget to make cuts.
And I
To
did,
say
and
we did.
with all
And
due
it's all
respect.
occurred because of the rollback, and other
Yeah.
than that, so we didn't know we were gonna have a rollback. You know what bothers me? I believe that the staff has really poured over this and decided that these are the things that they presented to us. But I really think we need to be kinder to each other than to say, oh, they put this in here to move emotions and all of that. I
You know
think
what, that's my opinion.
Sure, it's your opinion.
is.
I'm just
All
saying,
right.
I'm just
One
saying.
person at a
And
time.
I guarantee you
One
was.
person at a time.
I'm
Andy?
still the one speaking right now.
One
And
person at
I
a
just
time.
think we need to be careful about how we talk to each
Listen,
other and how we say what we
you-
have to
okay,
say. You
you're
can
right.
have your opinion, but it's not how, but
Well, you
not
know
why,
what?
but how.
You know what? We all got elected to work for the USIS taxpayers, and that's what we're here for.
And I believe we're all trying to do
And
that, but we can do it in a kind of way to our
okay.
staff.
All
right, one at a
I'm
time.
I'm not saying they didn't do hard work on this.
Decision. let's
We need to
discussion.
make sure we get public comment.
Yeah, a discussion.
Would anyone in the audience like to speak on this resolution? Okay, seeing none, I will close public input.
Lori, what's in reserves financially?
18 million?
That's why I thought it was 18 to 20.
Yeah, sorry, I don't
I
have
think
that.
it went down.
My brain's asleep right
No, mine is too. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I thought you said 18.
It's 18 to 20.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought you said 18, I thought.
now. We are anticipating ending this year at 19.1 and next year. This is after. Right, if you go to rollback, 17.8.
Okay.
So.
And how much is carrying
We're not
forward
going
unused?
all the way to rollback.
11 million is available because quite a bit of that is reserved. So that's really available.
My motion would be to adopt the budget with the millage rate that we have set,
What was that again?
It was
7.38.
7.38.
7.38,
0.98.
using reserve money, and then throughout the year, make budget
Tweak it.
amendments to our budget to cover those reserves.
That's a
Okay,
great, that's
I
a
like
great,
that.
that's a
Is that
great
okay?
hybrid solution. Thank
Okay.
you, thank you.
Okay, got it first.
I'll second
Wait,
it.
hold on a minute. Whoa. Make sure you don't have some change.
The only thing we didn't change is the percentage, which was 4.51. The regular first one was 7.51. So we maybe have to read this again with that.
I would just bring that to their attention.
I'll read this. Is this plan B? Is the same?
It's a whole lot of brain work
I
going on
know,
over
I
there.
know there is. There's been a lot of brain work going here all night.
We'll provide sleeping bags for staff since you have an early morning meeting. so. And you still
One
have
second.
the cots at the library. Okay.
No, but these, all these numbers have changed. Oh, no, we don't have to change the ordinance number. We have to change this one either. Okay, correct. I think this is the only thing we have to change because we have to say what the increase is by state law.
Who's that other lady? What's her name? Mary? She seems pretty,
Assistant.
she seems pretty sharp. She's your sister?
Assistant finance director.
They've gone like right here. Would that have been green?
I like her style.
No, the number right here shows you, so all
Oh,
of those
I
are
see,
fours.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Did it with the last possible.
Pizza or something.
No, it was, my brother sent me a text.
Is he listening?
I'm sorry.
Is he watching?
We're good, we're good.
Are we
Sorry.
good?
Yes.
Okay.
We were just, because procedurally there are certain requirements, so I had that little spiel earlier with trim notice, but we had those changes, so the next time that we present what you
You'll have it
voted on, the 7.3898, we'll have a different percentage, because obviously it's a different number, but we're good. And then the budget, you're gonna give instruction on that, but the titles are all the same, so we're fine there. We were just
Okay, and that-
clarifying.
You got my motion?
Did,
But we need
but
a
did we
second.
close public hearing?
Oh, yeah, a while back.
And I seconded
You
it.
closed it?
I closed it a while back.
Okay,
And
and he
then-
second.
And I seconded it.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Asbody,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Ashcraft,
Aye.
Commissioner Holland,
Aye.
Commissioner Lee,
Aye.
Mayor Hawkins.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks,
Okay.
everyone. Thanks, everyone.
All right, okay, was that it, Sasha?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
All right. Okay, next up, okay, on the other business, discussion of Economic and Cultural Advisory Committee.
Okay, so this is me, and with the work that Christine Cruz and I are doing with Japan, and with the WG Sports Center being here, in Eustis, which is, part of an organization that has a FIFA soccer license. I just thought it'd be nice to have a discussion about putting people on like an economic and cultural advisory committee.
Can you hold on a minute?
Yeah, whatever.
Tom,
Yes.
do we need staff? All of them? So we can let them go?
That's your call.
Yeah, as staff, yeah, you guys can go.
Okay.
Not you.
Oh, sorry.
You're not staff, you're a subcontractor.
Yeah, you guys can leave.
Pride.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I'm sorry, Gary.
No, you're fine.
Thank you, everyone.
And like I said, I put some notes here about what I thought the committee would do. You know, it would be it'd be a group of like expert local business community leaders. Without adding staff costs, the committee would work alongside city staff to identify opportunities for investment, workforce development, and cultural exchange. It would also give residents a direct role in contributing to the city's success, ensuring decisions reflect community priorities while building pride and ownership in Eustis's future. And you see the handout that I had some great help putting together.
Did you give that to us?
Everyone got a copy. So, you know, it would bring together the Japanese Cultural Center, American Bloom, the WG Sports Foundation, African American Heritage Committee, Chamber of Commerce, LEAD, Lake County Tourism, and International Business Opportunities, which I know Pam Rivas is talking to someone from the Czech Republic to try to really relocate here. So just thought it might be helpful for us to have a committee. I don't know what it looks like, but I just wanted to open up for discussion to see what everyone else had thoughts about it.
Okay. I think I'd like to, because I haven't had a chance to read
Yeah,
this.
I know.
Yeah.
No.
I'd like a chance, Gary, no disrespect, I'd like a chance just to
No,
read both
absolutely.
through.
Yeah, no, it's just, I'm just bringing it up for discussion. I don't want any decisions here tonight. I'm just kind of giving you my presentation of it, so.
Okay.
And honestly, we've been here long enough tonight, so we don't need to even do more about it, so.
Okay.
By the way, how was your trip to Miami?
The trip was amazing. The general counsel there was really interested in Eustis. He has ties to a lot of businesses in Japan. He's actually going to be here for the Japanese festival in March to take a tour of Eustis. So it was a very, very productive trip, and we also met with Select Florida, which is like the governor's Department of International Commerce, mainly focusing on Japan right now. So, you know, I think it's an opportunity for us to leverage some really unique things that we have here in town. The Japanese Cultural Center, the WG Indoor Soccer League, and to see if we can get any company interested in developing or relocating jobs to Eustis. So that's really what it comes from. It comes from an economic standpoint.
Can we place it on next week's,
Yep.
or the next agenda?
Like I said,
and
this
let's
is,
have an open conversation?
yep, exactly.
Yeah, did you get a chance to talk to the consultant that Al had?
I met him last night, but
Okay.
yeah, I wasn't on the list to talk to.
They're gonna call you?
Yeah, they're
Okay,
gonna call me.
all right. All right, well, since we're already into future agenda items, anything else?
No, that's it for me.
Okay, Mike?
No, I'm ready to
Yep,
go home,
yep.
sir.
George?
No, sir.
No.
Okay. All right, Tom?
I know.
Yeah, quickly, you received a draft form for the city attorney evaluation. And so we're asking you to review that, see if it's the instrument you'd like to use, talk about process, and figure out how you want to move forward. Certainly, the city attorney should be involved in that discussion as far as process and form. So take a look at that and give us some feedback as to how you want to move forward. And then just briefly, we just recently went through police accreditation. You received information from Chief Capri. I want to thank him and the police department for the great job they're doing in the reaccreditation. And then we'll want to recognize the Events and Communications Department. They brought home 8 sensational awards from FFEA, and not quite as many as we did in the past, but more number 1 awards this year. So 8 as opposed to 9 awards, but more number 1s. So I want to thank them for everything they do.
When do we
And,
meet the new lady?
she actually starts on Monday.
I met her on a tour at the museum. Very nice.
Yeah, so she starts on Monday, and we will get her introduced to all of you moving forward. So that's it.
Okay, all right.
I'm sorry, I did have one follow-up thing, and I totally forgot with all this discussion. So, I've actually joined the city softball team, and our first game is, are you on it too?
No.
Oh, and our first game
But I have
is
911 on my phone.
Can we have the mag truck out there?
it's I think our first game, Sam left already. I think our first game's the 16th. So I will be out representing the commission on the softball
Where
team.
at? Where's the game?
Carver, 6 o'clock.
Do we have to file a notice for us all to go?
Karen, don't we have to have him out there? We have to have some kind of medical stuff on it.
Okay. The 16th?
I believe that's our first game. I'm not sure of the time yet, but it is
Okay.
it is in the evening on the 16th.
Please let me know. I'll come out and support you.
Appreciate that.
Video too.
And
What time is that, Gary?
Hey, and one last thing. Hey, I know tonight was a little.
What time is it at?
Hey, listen.
Okay.
Hey, I know tonight was a little tense.
No.
Yeah, it was. But you know what? We still all came together and got it done.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
I appreciate that. I mean,
maybe my
and
interpretation of tense is.
it was a little debated at times.
No, but that's what we're supposed to.
Well, I know, and we all have our ways of doing it, but we still got together and got through it. So I am thankful for everyone for that.
I think we got a lot accomplished tonight. So,
We had to. It's been here for 5.5 hours.
and guess what?
It's
We
after
got
10, you guys.
We got a lot accomplished and not one slam door.
Oh, hallelujah.
All right, it was going good. You had to take a shot. Had to take a shot of